Well, live from Melching Field at Conrad Park in downtown DeLand, Florida, it's time for the second to last non-conference midweek game of the 2024 Bethune-Cookman Baseball season. Hello and a very warm welcome. My name is Michael Trujillo. Happy to have your company flying solo tonight at Conrad Park as the Wildcats look to sweep the season series against the Stetson Hatters and win the series for the third year in a row in this battle of Volusia County. Bethune-Cookman comes into the game 27-21 overall, 17-7 in Southwestern Athletic Conference play, bolstered by taking 2 out of 3 over rival Florida A&M over the weekend in Tallahassee. That improved their record over the Rattlers to 4-2 on the season, same as it was last season, although they still sit 1 game behind the Rattlers in the SWAC East standings. Lots of time to get into that tonight. They will play the Stetson Hatters, who have crossed the 30-win mark. They are 30-18 and 15-9 in A-Sun conference play. They currently sit 3rd in the A-Sun and were swept by league-leading Austin Peay here at Melching Field over the weekend. I sat down with Bethune-Cookman head coach Jonathan Hernandez before today's game to talk about the series against FAMU over the weekend and talk about his plan on how to deal with a potent Hatter offense this evening. I'm here with Coach Jonathan Hernandez before the Wildcats take on Stetson on Tuesday evening. Coach, the last time we talked, the team was on a bit of a downturn. The game at Jacksonville didn't go to plan, but then you took 2 or 3 from Florida A&M this weekend. Talk about that series and how it went.
Yeah, I mean, just a huge series for us, right? I mean, obviously you position yourself 1 game back from, FAMU, with the last, 6 conference games left. So, I think the guys responded well to our challenge after a disappointing Friday night loss, with another really good outing from Tanner Bocabella, who could have easily got a W on that Friday night. But they responded, and we came back with 2 really good wins to carry us for a season series win against the Rattlers of Florida A&M.
Colton Olison, who was out for a while, came back over the weekend. How important is getting him back in the lineup?
I think huge. Not only does he provide the veteran leadership, that we all know Olison brings to the table, but offensively, if you look at it, I think he's maybe, 14 for his last 17 or 18 at bats. So it's very, important for us to continue to have him in the lineup day in and day out. He's not 100%, but he's giving us 100% of what he's able to do. And, right now we couldn't ask for anything better from Olison.
Playing Stetson again tonight. Seen them once already this year, but you're on their home turf. They hit the ball very well. This is a hitter's park. What is the pitching and defense plan this evening?
I mean, it's just trying to keep him off balance. I think, Joel Cota is going to start tonight, looking for him to give him some length, as opposed to what we've kind of said throughout the course of the year where he's just going to give us 2 or 3. I think today's important for him, especially to kind of continue his momentum moving forward, as we head over to Atlanta for the SWAC tournament. We just got to play clean defense. At the end of the day, if we cannot give them, extra bases, we just have to stay fundamentally sound. We all know that Coach Trimple does a really good job over here at Stetson. It's a really good ball club who's, once again, at the top of the A-Sun, and, we just got to continue to play our brand of baseball.
Offensively, how do you find your rhythm going into the last 2 conference series and into the playoffs?
Just staying consistent to who we are. When those opportunities come to steal bases and put pressure on the defense, we have to do that. I mean, it's an interesting stat that, we're 4th nationally, in stolen bases. So that's something that's been a key part of our offense this year, and we just can't shy away from that. We only have 14 or 15 home runs as a team. I think that's bottom 3rd in the country, and that's okay. We don't slug with the most teams, but we have to put pressure on the defense and capitalize when opportunities are given to us.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Thank you. Hail Wildcats.
As we said in the interview, Wildcats going for the sweep of Stetson this evening. In the first meeting between these 2 teams back on April 16th at Jackie Robinson Ballpark, the Wildcats won it 8-7. They came back from down 7-6 in the 7th. A Jorge Rodriguez 2-run single put the Cats in front for good. Since then, Stetson has had an impressive midweek wins over number 16 UCF and USF. They've also beaten the University of Florida earlier in the season. but they took a loss to Florida State. They play Florida State in their final midweek game here next week. The Hatters hitting .291 on the year, 43 homers, a gulf between that and the Wildcats 15. And you'll be seeing Kyle Jones leading off for them. He leads the Hatters with a .350 average. Johan Desserol is the team leader in homers with 9. On the mound, Stetson has a .530 team ERA with 194 strikeouts and 100 walks. Now it's time to meet the starting lineups for this evening's contest. First for the home standing, Stetson Hatters 30-18 and 15-9 in A-Sun play. Kyle Jones, the center fielder, freshman, leads off. He leads their team in batting average. Playing third and batting second is Isaiah Barquette. Batting third and playing first base, Landon Moran. Batting fourth and playing left field is Logan Hughes. Batting fifth and playing shortstop is Lorenzo Mayola. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, Brandon Hilton. Batting seventh and catching, Daniel Labrador. Batting eighth at second is Johan Desserol. Batting ninth, the right fielder, Mike Handel. And on the mound is freshman left-hander Matthew Heil. It'll be a duel of freshman pitchers this evening as Heil faces Joel Corey. Here is the Bethune-Cookman starting lineup. It is familiar to those of you who have frequented our broadcast. Not much has changed. Daniel Figueroa leads off and plays center field. Garrett Chun bats second and plays left. Sergio Rivera bats third and is in right. Batting fourth, the designated hitter Jose Gonzalez. Batting fifth at first base is Manny Suframe. Batting sixth and catching Jorge Rodriguez, who had the game-winning 2 RBI single last time these two teams met. Batting seventh at second base is Colton Olison. He has raised his batting average by almost 100 points over the last couple of weeks. Bat to watch out for in the bottom of the order for sure. Jorge Gonzalez-Febo is the one big change tonight. He bats eighth and plays third base, the freshman back in the order replacing Peter Vasquez. And batting ninth, is the shortstop Jamie Villafañe. And of course, on the mound, the normal midweek starter for the Wildcats, Joel Corey. We'll get into all of their specific numbers and statistics as the game goes on. We will take a couple of minutes break, and when we come back, it's the first pitch from Melching Field in DeLand between the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats and the Stetson Hatters. You're listening to Bethune-Cookman University Baseball on CatEye Network Radio. Welcome back to Melching Field in DeLand. It's just about time for first pitch between the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats and the Stetson Hatters. The Hatters in their all-white tonight, white hats with a green bill, the Stetson S logo on the front. White jerseys, white pants with a green belt. Green Stetson in a cursive script across the front. Green numbers on the back. For Bethune-Cookman, they are in their road blacks tonight. Black uniforms, maroon helmets. Wildcats in maroon across the front in script with a white outline, and gray pants. Maroon numbers on the back with a white outline as well. Warm-up pitches being tossed by Matthew Heil. He is a freshman from Clearmont, Florida, the lefty. He's got a .720 ERA, making his 6th appearance of the season and 3rd start. In only 10 innings pitched, he's given up 8 runs on 9 hits, 8 earned, striking out 4 and walking 7 with an opponent batting average of .250. So we may see an opener situation in a heavy bullpen day as the Wildcat pitching staff was taken to task over the weekend by the best hitting team in the ASUN, the Austin Peay State Governors. Stetson won the first game on Friday 12-8, but then lost 12-4 and 12-7 on Saturday and Sunday, respectively. Wildcats over the weekend took 2 out of 3 from Florida A&M, losing 4-0 and wasting a pretty good start from Tanner Bocabello on Friday, but they got back on the horse. The offense showed up Saturday and Sunday. They won 9-3 and 5-3, and a great start from Daniel Gaviria as well to hold Florida A&M on Sunday. We are just about ready to go, and as Daniel Figueroa steps into the right-handed batter's box, we are ready for baseball here from Melching Field. Glad you could join us this evening on CatEye Network Radio. Not many of these broadcasts left in the regular season before we head to the SWAC playoffs in Atlanta. This is lefty to righty. Heil against Figueroa. Long hold for the first pitch. And here's the first pitch. It's inside low for ball 1. And the catcher, Labrador, takes his mask off. Looks like he got maybe hit somewhere with the ball as it came in. Figueroa leading off for Bethune-Cookman, averaging .292. 33 runs on 35 hits, 4 doubles, and 13 RBI. And the 1-0 from Heil, low and inside again, 2-0. Heil, a graduate of Montverde Academy, great sports academies. He misses down and low and inside again, 3-0. In every single sport, pretty much, they are dominant, up there with IMG Academy in places. Inside and low, so 4 pitches inside by the knees of Daniel Figueroa, and it's a lead-off walk.
Number 34, Garrett Chung.
Last time we were on the air, the Wildcats were up in Jacksonville 7 days ago, and it was a walk fest. The Cats walked 11 Dolphins, took 7 walks themselves, but ended up falling 11-0 after only getting 1 hit in that game. Heil will pitch it over to first base to try and get Daniel Figueroa. If you were here for the pregame show, you heard Coach Hernandez mention that the Wildcats are one of the top stealing teams in the country. Pulling back a bunt is Garrett Chun. He takes a pitch high and inside ball 1, so 5 balls thrown to open up the contest for Heil. This is lefty to lefty for Garrett Chun. Here's the pitch. Way outside ball 2. Chun batting .254, the senior. 35 runs on 49 hits, 6 doubles, 2 triples, and a team second best 35 RBI. He'll take his time out, then stand back in. In the SWAC, the Wildcats are 7th in team batting average at .269. But our second in the conference in stolen bases with 127. Here's the pitch. Outside, missed with the fastball did Heil. 3-0, 7 straight balls to start the game for Heil. An inauspicious start for the freshman left-hander. He pumps one right down the middle there for strike one, and it's 3-1 the count. The only team that has stolen more bases than Bethune-Cookman in the SWAC this year is the Southern Jaguars. Runner goes, pitches upstairs, ball four, so it doesn't matter. 2 straight walks for the Wildcats to begin the game, and it's first and second
19, Sergio Rivera.
with nobody out. And these are the kind of situations that the Wildcats need to take advantage of. We know Coach Hernandez loves to talk about the philosophy of get on, get over, get in. Corner infielders in for Stetson here, maybe expecting a bunt from Rivera. Lefty to righty, here's the first pitch. Rivera watches it go for strike one right down the pipe. Sergio is batting .280, 37 runs on 51 hits. A team leading 11 doubles, 3 triples, and 27 RBI. Heil deals. Rivera squares to bunt, pulls it back as the pitch goes over his head almost. A nice job behind the plate by Labrador to not let that one sail to the backstop. If you're used to watching our coverage of games at Jackie Robinson Ballpark, as here's the 1-1. Oh, inside it hit him. Got him on the lead leg as Rivera squared to bunt, and the bases are full of Wildcats with nobody out.
And batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 21, Jose Gonzalez.
Figueroa walked, Chun walked, and Rivera was hit by a pitch, and the Wildcats have the bases loaded, nobody out for their leading RBI getter, Jose Gonzalez. He also leads the team in batting average at .353. And we're going to have a meeting of the minds on the mound as the pitching coach for Stetson, Daniel Latham, comes out to talk to his freshman pitcher, Matthew Heil, who has struggled for command. He's only thrown 2 strikes to the first 3 batters. And now, if you're Bethune-Cookman, you're not going to try a squeeze play here because, of course, Gonzalez is your best hitter. You're just going to hope he gaps it somewhere and clears the bases. This is not a big field. I describe it as a hitter's park in my pregame show interview with Coach Hernandez. It is 392 to dead center and 320 down the lines. The walls are not particularly high either. Mostly, I'd say about 7 feet tall, the walls out there. So here is Gonzalez with nobody out and the bases full of Wildcats here in the top of the first. Lefty to righty, the first pitch is low, ball 1. And I guess if you're the Wildcats as well, you're going to take until he gives you something to throw, or something to hit, rather. Rest of Gonzalez's numbers, he's batting .353, as I mentioned, which is the best on the team. 34 runs on a team-high 60 hits. Fastball strike inside corner, 1-1. 7 doubles, 4 triples, time for the team lead with 4 homers, and as aforementioned, a team-high 41 ribbies. Looking to increase that right here. He swings and misses at an off-speed pitch that ran inside on the hands, and it's 1-2. This would be a big get for Heil, as the bases are full of BCU Wildcats with nobody out in the top of the first. The 1-2. Swung on and fouled straight back out of play as Gonzalez stays alive. Wildcats trying to get some run support for their freshman starter, Joel Corey, who we will be seeing in the bottom of the first. Here's the 1-2 again. Swing and a miss. Got him with the breaking ball that tailed out and away. And that's a big get for Heil as Gonzalez strikes out. There's one away. That'll bring up Manny Soufrain. You can't rest on your laurels, though, because Soufrain represents the biggest power bat in this BCU lineup.
Number 16, Manny Soufrain.
Soufrain, the junior, batting .295, 37 runs on 39 hits, 9 doubles, 2 triples. Time for the team lead in homers with 4. He takes a pitch low and away, ball 1. And 30 RBI. He's also second on the team in slugging percentage with a .485 Soufrain. Bases loaded to 1 out. Here's the pitch. Outside corner at the knees for strike 1. And Heil following the playbook that every pitcher this season pretty much has played against Manny Soufrain. Just keep pitching him low and outside, and they'll have nothing to hit. Here's the 1-1. Low and outside. That time missed the zone. 2-1. Sufrain has drawn the most walks on this Bethune-Cookman team. He's walked 45 times, but he's also struck out 38 times. 2-1. He hits this one in the air to left field. Moving over is Hughes near the line, makes the catch. Tagging from third and coming home is Daniel Figueroa, and Manny Sufrain has given the Wildcats the lead. It's 1-0 in the first. So Manny Sufrain does his job. He lifts one to the opposite field towards left.
Batting sixth, the catcher, number 33, Jorge Rodriguez.
And here's the catcher, Jorge Rodriguez. And I think the Wildcats, if they only get one, they'll be a little bit disappointed if the bases loaded with nobody out. Rodriguez, the junior, batting an even 300, watches a strike at the knees inside corner. And it's 0-1. 14 runs on 27 hits, 8 doubles, 2 homers, and 11 RBI for Rodriguez. He's, of course, been platooning at catcher all season with Escobar. He rockets one down the left field line. That is going to be foul. Oh, it missed the left field corner by about 1.5 feet. Wow. It's just a loud strike, too, for Jorge Rodriguez. He missed a bases-clearing double by, as I said, less than 3 feet. And he's behind 0-2 to Heil, who, if he only gives up one after giving a free pass to the first 3 Wildcats, he will be pretty happy with that. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Way outside, opposite batter's box, 1-2. Rodriguez was likely not going to get something good to hit there. First and second, 2 out, pitch. Low and inside, 2-2. Garrett Chun on second, Sergio Rivera on first. After the first 3 Wildcat batters were issued with free pass, 2 walks and a hit by pitch. Figueroa already in on the inning on the RBI sac fly by Sufrain. There's a foul back to the screen, and the inning will continue for Heil, who's already thrown 21 pitches here in this first inning. And here is pitch number 22. The lefty winds and fires from the stretch. That one's hit in the air, down the first base line, not deep. Moving in from right field spot is Handel. He makes the catch.
1 run, no hits, no errors.
And 1 run, no hits, 2 left. The Wildcats are on the board. They lead at 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the first right here on CatEye Network Radio. Bottom of the first here at Melching Field in DeLand. It's the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats 1. The Stetson Hatters coming to bat after the Wildcats played at 1 on 3 straight walks and a RBI flyout by Manny Sufrain. And it's the top hitter in this Stetson lineup. Kyle Jones, the freshman center fielder, who will be the first batter to face Joel Corey, the freshman righty for Bethune-Cookman. Corey is 1-4 with a 5.02 ERA. He got 12 appearances with 8 starts, 37 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 22 runs on 34 hits. 21 of those earned. He struck out 37, walked 26. And his opponents have a batting average of .245. And he was on the mound last week against Jacksonville, and the Wildcats fell 11-0. Trying to get back on track as they look towards a weekend series with Jackson State. And here's the first pitch from Corey. It's rocketed up the middle into center field. It is going to be down in front of Figueroa for a base hit. So the first hit of the night goes to the Hatters as Kyle Jones
third baseman, number 13,
remains blistering at the plate this season. And here is Isaiah Barquette, the sophomore third baseman, batting .293. Jones at first has 21 stolen bases in 26 attempts. First pitch will be a spinner throw back to first, and the ball gets away from Soufrain, and that'll be a free base for Kyle Jones on an error. And the Wildcats starting to shoot themselves in the foot. You don't want to do that. Reminders of games against Jackson State earlier in the year where the Wildcats were just sloppy all around. And we know from watching this team this season, they love to pick off at first a lot. And if you're the pitcher, you cannot afford an errant throw like that, especially early. So now there's a runner on scoring position with nobody out. And this one's hit high in the air to left center field, not deep. Moving over Figueroa, the center fielder will squeeze it for out number 1. And if you're Joel Corey, well, that's a pretty nice way to get back after the error. One gone in the inning, and here is Landon Moran. Moran, a sophomore, batting .277. 44 hits, 34 runs, 11 doubles, 1 triple, 2 homers, and 22 RBIs. The first left-handed batter to face Joel Corey. With Kyle Jones on second and 1 out, bottom of the first. Wildcats with a 1-0 lead. Corey into his windup. And it's inside and hit him on the hip. So both pitchers, a rough start to this game. We saw Kyle in the first inning for Stetson walk the first 2 batters and hit the third. That allowed the Wildcat to score.
Fielder, number 5, Logan.
And now for Stetson, a single up the middle, then an error on Corey, the pitcher. And a hit by pitch puts runners on first and second with 1 down. And here's Logan Hughes, the left fielder. Freshman batting .316, second on the team in batting average. Right at a lefty, here's the first pitch. And it's hammered towards short, right at Olison, who makes the catch for the out. Nice play by Colton. I talked to Coach Hernandez during the pregame show, and he said Olison is so important to have in this lineup, and it's for defensive plays like that. He almost doubled up Moran at first, but he lost the ball on the transfer. So everybody stays where they are. But now there's 2 away in the inning, and here's Lorenzo Mayola, who's the shortstop sophomore, batting .287. First pitch to Mayola, slider strike on the inside corner. That slider starts almost at the hip of the righty Mayola and arcs into the zone. 0-1. That time he threw the slider again, but missed it low and away in the dirt. Nice job by Rodriguez behind the plate to save that ball from going to the backstop, and it's 1-1. Mayola batting .287, 36 runs on 52 hits, 9 doubles, a triple, 4 homers, and 41 RBI. First and second, 2 down, and he fires a fastball right down the middle to Corey. That'll be strike 2. So the freshman right-hander a strike away from getting out of this one. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball missed in the dirt, went for the curve that time. Haven't seen much of Joel Corey's curve this year. It's mostly been fastball, changeup, slider. But in that one, missed low, and it's 2-2. Once again, Jones on second, Moran on first. That one's grounded foul outside of third into the BCU dugout, and Meola stays alive. Pretty good crowd here on a Tuesday evening in DeLand, mostly concentrated off to our right behind the Stetson dugout. The 2-2 is a ground ball, base hit to right field. Rounding third and coming home from second is Jones. Here's the throw to the plate. Rodriguez dropped the ball. He had him dead to rights. It was a beautiful throw by Rivera, but Rodriguez, just like on last Tuesday, drops the ball and is unable to apply the tag. It's a base hit and an RBI for Meola. Jones scores, and it's 1-1. And that was just a little dribbler through the right-hand side. It was a fastball in on the hands. And Meola just went with it. Here's Brandon Hilton now, the designated hitter. He bats left-handed. Here's the first pitch from Corey. Breaking ball misses outside, 1-0. Hilton, a senior, batting .262. 12 runs on 17 hits, 3 doubles, 2 homers, 10 RBI. And once again, he's got first and second with 2 outs. And that one bounced to the plate by Corey. He's behind 2-0. And Joel just trying to pitch to contact, let his defense do the work, but unfortunately he's been the victim of a couple of seeing eye singles and an error in this inning. Pitch fouled straight back, 2-1, excuse me. This is a beautiful ballpark, Melching Field here in DeLand. It is a hot, hot day as the sun begins to set behind us. Partly cloudy, temperatures up near 90 degrees. The 2-1. Breaking ball misses outside, 3-1. Really the pride of this community, and this ballpark underwent significant renovations over the past couple of years, kind of like the Jack is about to do over in Daytona Beach. Here's the 3-1. That one's hit high in the air to right field and deep. Going back, Rivera, he will watch it sail into the parking lot. Joel Corey just served up a fastball right down the middle, and Brandon Hilton smashes it over the right field wall. A 3-run home run, his third of the season, and it is 4-1 Hatters. Well, we talked about it at the beginning of the game. This Hatters team loves to mash baseballs, and they did it again there. Home run number 44 on the year for Stetson. A 3-run shot for Hilton, his third, and the Wildcats, who started so brightly in the top of the first, find themselves behind 4-1 in the bottom of the inning. And now here's Daniel Labrador, who hit 2 home runs in a game against Bethune-Cookman. Breaking ball, strike, slider, count 0-1. Labrador hit 2 home runs against Bethune-Cookman in a game that was played last season over at Jackie Robinson. And that one fouled away, and it's 0-2. A game the Wildcats ended up winning. They won the first game of this season series 8-7. That one's hit high and deep to left. Moving back on it is Chun. He's at the track, and he'll make the catch. So a hard hit ball by Labrador just turns into an out. 4 runs, 3 hits, and nobody left with 1 error. And the Wildcats find themselves behind 4-1 as we head to the second here on CatEye Network Radio. We go to the top of the second. Wildcats down 4-1 after a positive start. They scored one at the top of the first, but a 3-run home run by Brandon Hilton means the Wildcats trail 4-1 here, top of the second. Colton Olison leads off. There's a strike fastball inside corner. And it was a rough start to the first for Matthew Heil, the freshman pitcher for Stetson. Gave 3 free passes to the first 3 batters. Breaking ball misses outside 1-1. But then recovered to get the next 3. One of them was a flyout RBI by Manny Sufrain, where the Wildcats got their 1 run. Olison fouls one to the right side out of play. Colton has raised his batting average by almost 100 points. He's now batting .282. Here's the 1-2. Ground ball right back to Heil. The left-hander gloves it, will walk over to first and underhand it for out number 1. Nice hit by Olison, but perfectly in position to make the play was Heil, and there's 1 out in the second. Jorge Gonzalez-Fabo will bat now. Fabo, the freshman, batting .236. 10 runs on 25 hits. First pitch, a strike. 5 doubles, a triple, 2 homers, and 11 RBIs. 0-1. Swings and rockets one up the middle. There's a base hit over the leaping glove of Desereau. And a nice piece of contact by Jorge Gonzalez-Fabo. And the Wildcats have a runner on with 1 out here in the second. Fabo at times this season has been struggling with the strikeout bug. So he's been in and out of the bench for Coach Hernandez's team. But when his bat gets hot, it is very hot. Here's the 9-hole hitter, Jamie Villafane. First pitch to him, upstairs, ball 1. Villafane was someone who started the year starting at shortstop. Was injured for a long time in the middle of the season as he watches another one up by his face mask. 2-0. Then came back just 2 weeks ago in the series against Mississippi Valley State and has been a fixture in this lineup ever since. The 2-0 from Heil is upstairs, ball 3. Villafane's numbers, he's batting .309. 15 runs on 17 hits, 2 doubles, a triple, and 6 RBI. 3-0. Watches one down the middle. 3-1. The Wildcats have to be patient at the plate against Heil, who has shown his propensity to walk people. The 3-1. Inside, ball 4. And a 4th free pass of the game issued by Heil here in the bottom of the second. 3 walks and a hit by pitch. And there's first and second with 1 out. And the top of the lineup coming up for Bethune-Cookman, Daniel Figueroa stands in. Figgy walked his first time up. He scored the Wildcats' only run. He's got 2 on, 1 out. Lefty to righty, Heil checks the runner at second, now deals. Will throw a fastball right down the middle for strike 1. Figueroa also had the Wildcats' only hit 7 days ago against Jacksonville. Leadoff single up the middle. The Wildcats didn't get a hit since in that game. He'll square to bunt, drop one down the third base line. Charging his Barquette. He'll barehanded, and there's no play anywhere. That is a gorgeous bunt single by Daniel Figueroa, and for the second time in as many innings, the Wildcats have loaded the bases. Fabo goes to third, Villafane to second, and Figueroa standing on first for Garrett Chun, who walked his first time up and was stranded on second. First pitch from Heil. That one's hit in the air to left field. Going back, Hughes. Near the track, he makes the catch. Tagging and coming home is Fabo. He will score without a throw. And the Wildcats have used 2 fly ball RBIs to claw back to within 2. It is 4-2. There's 2 down. So Garrett Chun continues to hold on to second on this team in RBIs, picking up his 36th of the season, and now 2 down for Sergio Rivera, runners on first and second. He squares to bunt, pulls it back, runners go. Here's the throw to third, and safe is Villafañe. Double steal for Bethune-Cookman, who steal the second most of any team in the conference, only behind Southern. And now they've got 2 in scoring position for Rivera, who looks at an 0-1 count. 2 down here, Wildcats down by 2. Top second. Pitch from Heil. It's a bunt down the third base line. It's another beauty. It's going to roll foul. Oh, it just barely rolls foul right near the third base bag. And the count is 0-2 on Rivera. Man, I thought he did the exact same thing that Daniel Figueroa did. Just pulled one down the third base line, right on the grass. But unfortunately, its momentum took it onto the dirt path. And that allowed it to roll into foul territory just before the third base bag. And Barquette had no play because he was hoping it would roll foul. He was watching it all the way. So now an 0-2 count. Here's the pitch. Rivera fouls it straight back to the screen and stays alive. Wildcats 1 in the first, 1 in the second, and they are down 4-2. Both runs for the Wildcats on flyouts to left. Once again, the 0-2. Right up the middle. It is going to be grabbed by Desereau. He throws to first in time. A beautiful play by Johan Desereau at second. The Wildcats going to run on 2 hits and strand 2. And we go to the bottom of the second. Wildcats down 4-2 here on CatEye Network Radio. Back at Melching Field in DeLand, Wildcats down 4-2. They played another run in the top of the inning, and now Joel Corre goes back to work after giving up 4 runs on 3 hits in the first. Johan Desereau will lead off after a terrific defensive play. Takes a fastball down the middle for strike 1 to end the top of the second and prevent the Wildcats from potentially getting 2 runs. He fans on a changeup that misses low, and it's 0-2. But I didn't really get to describe that play from Desereau. He was all the way on the shortstop side of second, backhanded it, and then from one leg pivoted and threw to first to get Rivera by half a step. Here's the 1-2. Fouled away to the left, and it's 1-2 again. Desereau, the junior, batting .324, 36 runs on 55 hits, 10 doubles, 9 homers, and he grounds one foul to the Stetson dugout. Count will hold 1-2 again. Desereau, 35 RBI on the season, second most on the team. And now Coach Trimper is in the ear of home plate umpire Casey Sanchez about something. The only thing I can think of that it would be is that they're asking him to watch Joel Corre for potential balks, because everything up to this point has been kind of a standard at-bat as Johan Desereau finds himself down 1-2. First batter here in the bottom of the second. Tonight, is the 106th meeting all time between Bethune-Cookman and Stetson on the baseball diamond. Corey's 1-2. Just barely got a piece of it to Desero and taps it back to the screen off the end of the bat, and he'll stay alive. 3 straight foul balls in this at-bat. Bethune-Cookman trails the all-time series pitch outside 2-2. 27-78. The Wildcats have won the last 2 and 3 of the last 4 in the Volusia County rivalry. They find themselves down 4-2 here. Breaking ball misses low for Corey. And from a 0-2 advantage, he finds himself in a 3-2 count against Johan Desero. And he got him. Swing and a miss. Rodriguez drops the ball. He'll throw over to first to complete the putout.
And batting ninth, the right fielder, number 14, Handel.
And now here's Mike Handel. The senior batting .204, only getting his 15th start of the year. In 54 at-bats, he's got 11 runs on 11 hits, 3 doubles, 2 homers, and 11 RBI. So he likes the number 11 at the moment, this Handel. 11 runs, 11 hits, 11 RBI. First pitch low and outside to the lefty, 1-0. Corey quickly into his windup and misses another one down there. This is a Stetson team that leads the A-Sun in ERA. Pitch upstairs 3-0. At 513, Kennesaw State behind them with 520. And offensively, there's a strike 3-1. They are second behind Austin Peay and a fair way behind. Austin Peay is hitting a blistering .358 as a team. Stetson, 291. Corey watches one go low for ball 4. First walk of the game issued by Joel. And there's a runner aboard with 1 out. And now here's Kyle Jones, top of the Hatters order. He singled to center on the first pitch he saw his first time up. Then went to second on a pickoff error by Corey. Eventually came around to score. And he watches one low for ball 1. Did he swing? No. Jones eventually came around to score on the single by Lorenzo Miola. Jones, the freshman. Pitch. Fouls it away. 1-1. Leading this team in batting average at a .350. 40 runs on 63 hits. 12 doubles, that's a team high. 2 homers and 25 ribbies. He looks at a 1-1 from Corey. Corey will actually throw this one back to first. Second pickoff attempt of the game for Joel. The first one he threw over the head of Soufrain. That was when Jones was on first in the first. 1-1. This time Corey comes home with it and bounces it to the plate. Rodriguez does a good job of preventing it from going to the backstop. Rodriguez has been really good this season about being a defensive catcher. Although he has made a couple of defensive miscues, including on relays to the plate. He's been unable to get the tag down on a couple things. Here's the 2-1. Bounce to the plate again. He almost threw over to first because Handel was almost halfway to second base, but Soufrain wasn't covering the bag, so there was nobody to throw to. And Corey, once again behind this count, 3-1. He deals. That one smacked into left field. Coming on is Chun. He makes the catch and fires in to keep Handel at first base. And if you're Joel Corey, that is the kind of contact you want to see. As Isaiah Barquette comes to the plate, he flew out to center his first time up. And all the contact for Stetson off of Corey has been hard. No soft ground balls, no bunt attempts, none of that. Line drives and sky-high pops to the deep outfield. Breaking ball catches the zone for Barquette. Barquette flew out to center his first time up. Hughes lined out to Olison at second. Labrador missed a home run by a couple feet on the warning track in left. Was the final out of the first inning. Breaking ball doesn't catch the inside corner for Corey, 1-1. In terms of the SWAC, as the 1-1 pitch is thrown back over to first, Dufresne doesn't get the tag down in time. The pitch was low and outside, 2-1. The Wildcats 6th in batting average at 269.
Everybody clap your hands.
Top batting average of the conference is Jackson State at 326. Pitch. That one's rocketed towards Olison and over his head at second base and into center field. So Barquette has his first hit.
First baseman, Landon Moran.
So the Hatters have 2 on with 1 out and are threatening once again. Here's Landon Moran, who was hit by a pitch and was one of the 3 to score on the Hilton home run back in the first. We could be here for a while, folks, as neither of these pitchers really show any sign of working quick innings here, as there's going to be a player-led meeting on the mound. I can run you through a couple more SWAC statistics. Bethune-Cookman is way ahead in terms of team ERA in the conference, 4.74. And if you look at conference-only stats, their ERA, not much better, 4.35, and actually behind Florida A&M in that regard. But overall, 4.74 ERA, Florida A&M 5.65, Jackson State 5.77. Bethune-Cookman, of course, stellar in the field, a 966 fielding percentage. Least amount of errors committed in the conference. Meeting on the mound over. Here's Landon Moran. First pitch right at a lefty as he fans on the changeup. Count 0-1. Skip to the plate. Corey's been doing that a fair bit in this early start. There's already a Wildcat up and throwing in the outfield bullpen. Can't tell quite who that is, even through binoculars, but could be a short night for Corey and a bullpen night for the Cats. Here's the 1-1. Bounce to the plate again for Joel. Off the chest protector of Rodriguez, and he barely keeps it in front of him, keeps the runners at bay. Count is 2-1 on Moran. Landon, the sophomore from Altamont Springs, nearby Lake Brantley High School. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball, that's a slider in there for a strike, and it's 2-2. 2 outs in the inning. Wildcats try to avoid giving up a run. Handle walked. And Barquette singled to center of the 2 base runners. Spin a throw back to second. Villafañe is there, but sliding back in safely. Handle. Handle only 1 stolen base on the year. Not really who you would want as a lead runner in this situation, especially if you're going to try and double steal. Here's the 2-2. Corey misses outside, barely, and it's 3-2. And this is the exact same situation where Hilton hit that home run in the first. Corey forced to throw it over the middle. Here's the 3-2. 2 on, 2 out in the second. Ground ball foul into the Stetson dugout, sending white jerseys leaping away. And we will see another full count delivery from Joel Corey. Joel has done extremely well at times this season as a true freshman out of Orlando and Central Point Academy. The 3-2 to Moran. Inside, missed him, and it actually hit him on the arm. And it doesn't matter if it was a ball four or a hit by pitch, the bases are loaded. And Moran has now been hit by a pitch twice. Was hit in the first and came around to score, and now hit in the second, and the bases are full of Hatters. And here comes Coach Hernandez, and we will have a pitching change. So tough start for Joel Corey, as he only goes an inning and 2/3, gives up 4, and is responsible for the 3 runners on base, as I try and catch who is coming in from the bullpen. Something about these Bethune-Cookman numbers on the front of their jerseys, they are very hard to see with the maroon on black. We might just have to wait for an announcement from the public address system here, as he is now in the huddle on the mound. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a Dylan Dudonis, depending on who's available, a Patrick Gork or an Aaron Schaefer. So the pitcher for Bethune-Cookman is Colby Lepovsky. None of those that I just mentioned. And this is a tough spot for Colby, as he is going to have the bases full of Stetson Hatters with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. 4 already in the game in the first for the Hatters. And the Wildcats trail 4-2.
Third game to pitch for Bethune-Cookman, number 28, Colby Lepovsky.
Lepovsky, the junior from Fort Lauderdale, and a transfer from Florida State College at Jacksonville. In 2 seasons at FSCJ, 30 appearances on the mound with 18 starts, a 7.39 ERA. This season, Lepovsky has an 8.41 ERA in 8 appearances with 3 starts. 20 1/3 innings pitched. He's given up 25 runs on 24 hits, 19 earned. Struck out 13, walked 11. He's given up 5 doubles, a triple, 5 homers, and opponents are batting .289 against him. 1 wild pitch, 5 hit by pitches. A tough ask for Colby here. Of course, his banner performance of the year was a couple weeks ago against Miami, where he went 6 innings, gave up 2 runs on 4 hits, only 1 earned, as the Wildcats picked up a massive 6-4 win. On the season, Lepovsky is 0-1, his only result a start in the UCF game, where he pitched 3 2/3 innings and gave up 7 in a 14-0 loss. His last appearance on the mound was 7 days ago against Jacksonville. He went 2/3 of an inning, gave up 4 runs on just 1 hit. Breaking ball, first pitch, a strike. The batter is Logan Hughes. He had that sharp line out to the second baseman, Colton Olison, his first time up. The bases are loaded, 2 outs here in the second. Breaking ball, hammered to left, down the line, and foul. Home run distance, but not home run accuracy. Logan Hughes just a bit ahead of it. He was close to having his 6th home run of the year and making it a grand slam at that. But he's down 0-2 to Lepovsky, looking for a big punch out here. It would get the Wildcats out of the inning without giving up anything. But Hughes stays alive, fouls it off to the left. Good pitch mix from Lepovsky here early. He went curveball, fastball, fastball. He's got Hughes behind the count, 0-2, bases full of Hatters. Here's the pitch. Way outside, sliding over to cover it is Rodriguez. Don't mind that one. Or don't mind the idea of a waste pitch there at 0-2, but you got to make it at least a little bit competitive. So we'll now have a 1-2 count. Lefty to lefty pitch. Once again, low in the dirt and in the outside batter's box. If you're going to try and get a chase, you got to be more competitive. These Stetson hitters are way too disciplined to chase at something like that. Two-two. Outside, missed with the fastball, 3-2. And we talk about finishing innings, getting off the field with 2 outs, getting batters out with 2 strikes. The Wildcats have been bitten by it so many times this year. The 3-2 from Lepovsky. Golfed into center field. Moving back Figueroa. It's going to be playable. He will squeeze it.
No runs, a hit, no errors, bases
Woo!
left.
The Wildcats get out of one, and Colby Lepovsky gets Hughes to fly out to center. No runs, 1 hit, 3 left. Wildcats trail 4-2 as we head to the 3rd here on CatEye Network Radio. New pitcher for Stetson as we go to the 3rd inning. So Matthew Heil gives up 2 runs on 2 hits in 2 innings pitched. He's in line for the win as the Wildcats currently trail the Stetson Hatters 4-2. The new pitcher is the sophomore from Woodsville, New Hampshire, Brendan Walker. Walker has a 5.59 ERA on the season. 11 appearances with no starts. He's 1-0. In 19 1/3 innings pitched, he's given up 13 runs on 17 hits, 12 earned, striking out 16 and walking 12. He's allowed 4 doubles and 4 homers with an opponent batting average of .230. 2 wild pitches, 1 hit by pitch for Walker. Here is Jose Gonzalez, who struck out with the bases loaded his first time up. And Walker will deal, and that one is grounded through the left side. There's a base hit. First pitch swinging for Jose Gonzalez as he continues to swing a pretty hot bat for Bethune-Cookman. And that'll bring up Manny Soufrain, who had the RBI fly out to left in the first that scored Daniel Figueroa. Wildcats down 4-2 on a gorgeous, if a little warm, night for baseball here in Volusia County. 4-2 the score. First pitch, a breaking ball low to Soufrain. Last year, Walker as a freshman saw action in 14 games with 6 starts. Went 2-2 with a 6.11 ERA. Here's the 1-0. Check swing, no swing ball upstairs by the letters, and it's 2-0 to Soufrain. Walker, the first right-handed pitcher the Wildcats have faced tonight. Heil, the lefty, got the start. Here's the 2-0. That one is hit high in the air to center field, not deep. Jones will track it, and halfway between second base and the outfield wall makes the catch for out number 1. I mentioned it a little bit the first time Manny Suframe was up, but he is the closest thing the Wildcats really have to
Now batting the catcher,
a three
Jorge
true outcome player.
Rodriguez.
And now here's Jorge Rodriguez, who flew out to right to end the first inning. He's got Gonzalez on after his leadoff single and 1 out. First pitch, a big old swing and miss as the catcher is early on a changeup. And it's 0-1. Rodriguez had 2 on, 2 out, and flew out to right to end the first. And he flies one to right this time, and it is going to tail foul and go out of play and hit the batting cages down the first base line. Sky just beginning to darken from its bright blue to a bit of a lavender shade as we approach 7:30 p.m. here on the east coast of Florida. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That is rocketed towards third and over the head of Barquette. Down the line, that's going to get all the way to the corner. Going from first to third is Gonzalez. It's a stand-up double for Jorge Rodriguez, and the Wildcats have 2 in scoring position with 1 out here in the third. That was a rocket down the line, and Barquette stuck his glove up at it and just didn't have enough reaction time to squeeze it before it went down the line.
Now batting the second baseman, Colton Olassen.
Now here's Colton Olassen. Grounded out to the pitcher his first time up. He had a rocket, and it was almost into the limp glove of Heil. So unlucky for Colton. He's been swinging a very hot bat lately. First pitch to him is a swing and a high pop, shallow center. Jones coming in, loses his hat, makes the catch. Tagging from third, and he will stay at third, will Jose Gonzalez, as that ball didn't really get deep enough. So 2 flyouts to center in the inning,
Jorge Gonzalez-Fabo.
and 2 hits to left. The Wildcats have runners in scoring position for the 3rd time in 3 innings. They've brought 2 home so far. And now with 2 down, here's the freshman Jorge Gonzalez-Fabo, single to center his first time up. They're playing him very much up the middle. First pitch to him is a swing and a foul back, 0-1. Desero playing close to behind the second base bag. I think partially as a pickoff deterrent to Rodriguez at second. Gonzalez is at third with 2 down in the inning. Here's the 0-1 to Fabo. Watches a ball, just missed it inside with the fastball. It's 1-1. I just want to see a little bit of patience out of Fabo. You don't need to go hero ball here. Just place it into the outfield. And he hits one into right field. Moving back his handle, he looks up, he tracks back, it's off his glove, and it's gonna get down. It's gonna be a 2-run stand-up double for Jorge Gonzalez-Fabo, and the Wildcats have tied the game at 2. Or it's at 4, excuse me. Gonzalez scores from third. Rodriguez scores from second. And Fabo has his 2nd hit of the night. And I can only imagine that Mike Handel, the right fielder, lost that one in the sun because it just bounced off his glove. He was backtracking, and just couldn't squeeze it. So now the Wildcats have tied it at 4. Here's Jamie Villafane, walked his first time up, was stranded at third. Breaking ball almost hits him in the head. And a great job by Labrador to hide the plate to prevent that one from going to the backstop, although Jorge Gonzalez-Fabo is not the fastest guy back there. We have a offensive ball game, 4-4 here in the top of the third. Here's the 1-0 in the dirt, 2-0. As I mentioned, Villafane walked his first time up back in the second, stole his way from second to third, and then was stranded there. by the great play of Desero at second. Here's the 2-0. Here's a strike. Fastball at the knees, 2-1. And Villafane would love nothing more than to trade places with Fabo at second base and give the Wildcats the lead here. 2 down in the top of the third. Here's the pitch. Popped sky high, foul territory that will make the seats behind the plate. 2-2 the count now. Gonzalez singled to lead off the inning. Sufrain flying to left. Rodriguez doubled down the left field line. Olison flying to center. And then Fabo doubled both of them in to right field off the glove of Handel. 2-2. Ground ball towards the middle. Desero backhands it. It's off his glove. Rounding third and coming home. Here's the throw to the plate. Out at the plate is Fabo. A great recovery by Johan Desero. So Villafane singles to second.
The half inning is not
and
over.
Trying to score from second is Gonzalez Fabo. He was called out at home.
Challenge the call on the previous play.
And the Wildcats are challenging. And the umpires will go to the booth. Now, in real time, from my position above the home plate area, he looked like he was pretty well out to me. So Villafane hit that ball right behind second base again. Johan Desero, from his second baseman spot, tried to backhand it. It went off the outside of his glove. Fabo, seeing that as he went towards third, thought that he could get home because the ball was going to bounce into center. Desero picked it up and threw it home. And it was in plenty of time, it looked like, to get Fabo, who tried to score all the way from second. I have not filled in my scorecard yet, as Coach Hernandez has used his video challenge, something not available to the Wildcats in the SWAC until we get to the tournament, because I don't think any of the facilities in the Southwestern Athletic Conference support video replay. Of course, when we get to the campus of Georgia Tech and the SWAC tournament in a couple weeks, we'll have video review. And I remember a couple of memorable video reviews from last year's SWAC tournament, where the Wildcats dodged a couple of bullets en route to a finals appearance. I'm trying to replicate that and go one better this year. So anyway, the umpires: home plate, Casey Sanchez; first base, Shannon Jernigan; third base, Matthew Schaefer. They are off the field of play. They are in the tunnel at the video monitor reviewing a play at the plate. After Jamie Villafane singled up the middle, Jorge Gonzalez Fabo thought he could come home all the way from second, was gunned down by Desero from behind second base, and Coach Hernandez has challenged the play. The throw was a bit to the first base line, and Labrador had to move to his right a little bit, and then he came across his body with the glove to try and nab Fabo. It's still in real time to me, which is the only look I've had at it because they don't have the replay up on the screen here. It looked to me like Fabo's foot was tagged before he was anywhere near the base. So I do not expect this to be overturned. I think Coach Hernandez wants maybe to give a little more time for Colby Lepovsky to settle down after coming in the top of the second in place of Joel Corey and getting out of a bases loaded situation without giving up a run. Maybe just to buy some time for the Wildcats to cool their jets a little bit, talk to the players as he's over there near the bench talking to Garrett Sean. This game, a wild one already. It is 4-4 as we await the potential end of the top of the third. Wildcats scored 1 in the first on a sac fly, 1 in the second on a sac fly, and now 2 in the third on a 2-run double by Jorge Gonzalez Fabo that went off of the right fielder Handel's glove as he was tracking it back towards the track. Stetson scored 4 in the first off an RBI single by Lorenzo Miola, and then the next batter up, Brandon Hilton, hit a moonshot over the right field wall just past the scoreboard. And that is all the scoring that has happened so far. But there was an adventurous second inning for Stetson at the plate as well, as they loaded the bases before Colby Lepovsky came in place of the starter Joel Corey and got Logan Hughes to fly out to shallow center. We are still awaiting the review from our umpires Shannon Jernigan and Matthew Schaefer, which tells me that this might be closer than I originally thought from the naked eye, because if it was an open and shut review, they would have been in and out of there pretty quick. Once again, the Wildcats 4, the Stetson Hatters 4. We believe it is the middle of the third, although if this review is overturned and Fabo is safe, the Wildcats would lead 5-4. And again, I'm not sure what's taking the umpires so long. Here they come now. And he is out at home. So we confirmed what we knew already. That's the end of the inning for the Wildcats. They scored 2 runs on 4 hits and strand 2 with no errors. And we go to the bottom of the third. The Wildcats 4, the Stetson Hatters 4. And we will be back shortly on CatEye Network Radio. Well, after an adventurous top of the third, the Wildcats have tied the game at 4. We go to the bottom of the inning here at Melching Field in DeLand. Lorenzo Miola watches a first pitch strike. Colby Lepovsky still on the hill after coming in and getting out of a bases-loaded jam in the second. Has a sweeper. That is a swing and a miss from Miola. He singled his first time up, bringing in Kyle Jones for the first Stetson run. Lepovsky bounces one to the plate, 1-2. Miola, the sophomore from Greenbrook, New Jersey, hits one into left, moving over Sean. He reaches down and he makes the catch about a foot from the turf. And the Wildcats have one out in the inning, and they have used some pretty good outfield play to get out of some jams in this game, as every ball hit by Stetson has been hard hit, none more so than the ball that this man, Brandon Hilton, hit in the first inning, the long home run over the right field fence, and he takes a check swing, strike 1, and he's behind Lepovsky. Colby's done a great job to come in and kind of stabilize this game after a rough start by Joel Corey. Count is 1-1 for Hilton. And he hits one foul into the seats to the left field line, and it's 1-2. Brandon, who hit his third home run of the season his first time up, that one bounced to the plate, 2-2. Has a brother, Jaden Hilton, that also plays for Stetson. Brandon, a senior Jaden, a sophomore. Fouled right at home plate, count holds 2-2. Hilton, the older, a redshirt senior from Basking Ridge, New Jersey. Used the 2-2 from Lepovsky. High pop, out of play to the left-hand side. The count holds 2-2 again. And one of the things that Stetson has done really well is make the Wildcat pitchers work, especially when they're behind in counts 0-1, 0-2. Fouled a lot of pitches away. And he fouls another one away to that same spot over to the left. Two and two the count. Once again, the pitch from Lepovsky is low, 3-2. And they just foul away and foul away and foul away. And eventually the Wildcats have to put one over the plate. Here's the 3-2. Outside, ball 4, or walk 'em. That's the second walk of the game issued by Wildcat pitching, first by Lepovsky. As the Wildcats are trying to recover from a game against Jacksonville last week when they walked 11 Dolphins in that contest, a game they lost 11-0. Here's Daniel Labrador, who hit a ball very hard his first time up back in the first to left field. Garrett Chun tracked it down 2 steps short of the track to end the first. First pitch, a slider, misses low and away to the right-handed hitter. 1-0 the counts. Spin it, a throwback to first from the lefty Lepovsky. Hilton just 3 stolen bases on 4 attempts this year. This is not a Stetson team that steals a ton. Here's the 1-0. Inside corner, missed it, 2-0. And after the first inning, you thought, well, maybe the Hatters are going to run away with this, but the Wildcats have responded well to tie the game at 4. Here's the 2-0, way upstairs, 3-0. Wildcats have actually out-hit the Hatters 5-4. Each team has made an error so far. And of course, the Hatters stranded the bases loaded without getting anybody in the second. With a 3-0 from Lepovsky. Inside, ball 4. A 4-pitch walk. 2 straight free passes from Lepovsky. And it's going to bring up Johan Desereau with 1 out in the third. And there's going to be a player-initiated meeting on the mound. Lepovsky is there. The catcher, Rodriguez, is there. Colton Olesen trotting in to join this conversation as well, and the rest of the infield will follow suit. So Hilton is on second, Labrador on first. 2 straight walks after the leadoff fly out by Meola, and Coach Hernandez is now going to come out, and we wonder if this is going to be the end for Lepovsky after only 4 batters faced. I'm not sure if Coach Hernandez wants to be that aggressive. There is a Wildcat warming up in that bullpen out beyond left field. The Cruz family bullpen, as it's known. The away one is just to the left of the batter's eye, to the 392 sign in center. The home bullpen, where the white and green clad Hatters are sitting around, is to the right side of that. And a very long conference on the mound. This is pitching coach Joel Sanchez. Excuse me, it's not Coach Hernandez. So Lepovsky will remain in the game, but 2 Wildcats now up and throwing in the bullpen, as we could have a long night of rotating arms out of the pen for the Wildcats, just like we did last time we were on the air 7 days ago. 2 on, 1 out. Here's Desereau, the pitch. Low breaking ball, catches the zone for strike 1. That was a really slow one, 78 miles an hour. Desereau, the only Hatter to strike out in this game. He did so to begin the bottom of the second. And he reaches for one and pokes it foul off the end of the bat, 0-2. And I mentioned this last inning. The Wildcats have been plagued all year about finishing at bats with 2 strikes, finishing out innings with 2 outs. They have been unable to get off the field on defense a ton of times, and it's hurt them because they've lost a couple of games where they were favored. That's a nice one. Curveball down and away, and Desero had no idea as he swings at air. Second strikeout of the game for Desero, one by Corey, one by Lepovsky. Now there's 2 down in the inning, and here's Mike Handel. Handel, the left-hand hitter who walked his first time up, ended up stranded on third back in the second. As we play here, bottom of the third, 4-4 our score. Pitch. There's a fastball strike right at the belt line. 84 miles an hour from Lepovsky. And a really useful tool for us broadcasters is here's the 0-1. And I missed with the breaking ball outside and low. Is the miles per hour of the pitches are displayed very prominently right in front of my eye line on the big scoreboard out in right field. Something we don't really usually have access to at the Jack. I can kind of see where our pitchers are hitting on the gun. Here's the 1-1 from Lepovsky. Upstairs, ball 2. Fastball up at 86 miles an hour. I promise I will not abuse this power and tell you the speed of every pitch that's thrown. Two-one. Off the end of the bat, floated towards short. It is gobbled up by Villafana. He throws to first, and a nice pick off the dirt by Soufrain to get the Wildcats out of another jam. No runs, no hits, 2 left. And we go to the 4th for the first time. The Wildcats hold the Hatters scoreless, and it's 4-4 as we go to the 4th here on CatEye Network Radio. To the 4th inning of play here in DeLand. Wildcats and Hatters tied at 4, the second of their 2 meetings this season. Wildcats trying to sweep the season series after winning 8-7 at the Jack back last month. Leading off the inning for the Wildcats, we go back to the top of the order, Daniel Figueroa. First pitch to him is high ball 1. Still on the mound for his second inning of work is Brendan Walker. And the sophomore deals inside and low, ball 2. Figueroa has been up twice. Walked in the first and came around to score on the Soufrain sac fly. 2-0 down the middle for strike 1. And then reached on a bunt single in the second. Stole second and eventually was stranded there. There's a fastball strike right down the middle again, 2-2. And I've noticed that the corner infielders, well, they are not now with 2 strikes, but they were playing Figueroa a little bit more in than they were before because of that bunt single. Whoa, Figgy has to lean backwards to avoid a pitch up by his helmet, and the count runs full. Skin Walker, in his second season at Stetson, has this one hit in the air to center field. Jones will track it down and stick the glove up for out number 1. That'll bring up Garrett Chun, who walked in the first and had an RBI sac fly to left in the second. That plated Jorge Gonzalez-Febo.
Garrett Chun.
So a pretty good night so far for Gonzalez-Febo. First pitch to Chun is a strike, low outside. Febo has a single, a run scored, and 2 RBI tonight. And that one bounced the plate and actually by the catcher Labrador to the screen. Nobody on base, so nobody can move up. Walker, the righty, to Chun, the lefty hitter, the 1-1. Chun fouls it away to the left, 1-2. Nike is the official outfitter of the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Gear up on the newest BCU Nike gear at nike.com/Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Here's the 1-2 from Walker off the end of the bat. Little flare into left field that is dropping, and it's going to drop in for a base hit ahead of the oncoming Hughes. So Chun has his first hit of the game.
Sergio.
And there's one on with 1 out for Sergio Rivera. That is textbook how you hit someone who's trying to throw you away and low. Just stick the bat out there, tap it off the end of the bat, right into no man's land between the shortstop and the left fielder. Rivera is 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch in the first and grounded out to end the second. Here's the, before the first pitch, they check back to first. Chun on the base paths, 22 of 27 in stolen bases this season. One of the most frequent base stealers the Wildcats have on their roster. The only one in the starting lineup that's attempted more is Daniel Figueroa. First pitch, Rivera lines one just foul down the third base line. And I remember before he grounded out to second to end the second, he hit a sharp one, a laser beam down the third base line that almost dropped in for 2 RBI. And he's behind in this count, 0-1, with Chun on first, 1 out here, top of the fourth. Spin and a throw back to first. Chun slides in. I've lamented a lot this season with my various co-commentators about the fact that there is no pickoff limit and disengagement limit in the college game. Here's the 0-1. Slider finds the zone for strike 2 against Rivera. And really, I mostly say this in regards to when the Wildcats are in the field. They pick off so much, and it really drags the game to a screeching halt. Rivera down 0-2 with Chun on first, 1 down, pitch. Way upstairs. Almost looked like a pitch out, like they were trying to get Chun to commit to go into second and then throw him out. But neither thing happened, so it's 1-2. Long look in from the sophomore Brandon Walker. And the righty will deal from the stretch. In the dirt, ball gets away. Chun does not go to second. A nice job by Labrador behind the plate to pick that ball up and keep the runner on first. It actually bounced off the back foot of Sergio Rivera in the right-handed batter's box. Two-two. Upstairs, 3-2, and another pitch out attempt. And Chun stays put at first. They are really adamant on not letting Garrett Chun steal second. Full count delivery from Walker. Inside, ball 4. Throw down to second, doesn't matter. That's a fantastic at-bat by Sergio Rivera. Was behind 0-2, fouled off a couple of pitches, took 2 pitch outs, and then watched one inside for ball 4. And the Wildcats have runners on first and second with 1 out. And here is the hottest bat in maroon and gold land right now, Jose Gonzalez ripped a single to left to lead off the third and eventually came around to score on the 2 RBI error, as it had now been changed to by Jorge Gonzalez Febo. First pitch to the righty is a breaking ball strike. That slider by Walker is his best pitch, especially to righties. It starts either in the zone, then tails away, or starts looking like it's going to go right at you and hit you in the stomach, and eventually tails into the zone. Spin and a throw back to second. Chun is there. Figueroa led off the inning by flying out to center, then Chun singled to left. Rivera walked, and that brings up Gonzalez. He's behind the count 0-1. First AB for Gonzalez back in the first. He struck out with the bases loaded. He's trying to make up for that. He already has in a pretty big way. He watches one upstairs, ball 1. That was a fastball. Walker in high school played at Kimball Union Academy back in New Hampshire. And he deals the 1-1. That one's hit high in the air to left field and deep. Going back to the track. It is one hop over the wall for a ground rule double. The Wildcats have the lead as Garrett Chun's going to walk in from second. Rivera's going to go from first to third, and Gonzalez is going to stand on third and shout and pump his fist to the Wildcat dugout. It's 5-4 Bethune-Cookman. That one missed being a home run by a foot and a half, and the wind is blowing in from left. So if there's no wind, I think that's gone, because that ball was hammered by Gonzalez. Now here's Manny Suffrain, watches one in the dirt, ball 1. Suffrain sack fly for an RBI in the first, and then flied out to left in third. So he's flied out to the opposite field twice. Second and third, 1 out in the inning. Pitch. He watches strike 1, bell tie. And if you go back and listen to some of our broadcasts from the beginning of the year, we talk a lot about the fact that Manny Suffrain has to learn to hit the ball the opposite way. And he swings and misses at a breaking ball that ends up hitting the top of the plate. It's 1-1. Correction, 1-2. And he's done that twice tonight, putting in a left field as a left-handed batter, one of them for an RBI. Walker trying to get the power-hitting Suffrain, the 1-2. Check swing. Did he go? No, and that one misses just barely outside. The count 2-2. I think everybody wearing white and green, including everybody in the stands, thought that home plate umpire Casey Sanchez was going to ring up Suffrain there, and I almost kind of thought that myself. But Manny will see another pitch. Here's the 2-ball, 2-strike delivery, and he grounds one towards second. Desero makes the play, but it's another RBI for Manny Suffrain. The ball was a slow roller enough that Rivera comes in from third. Gonzalez goes to third, as Suffrain has 2 RBI. How about that? 0 for 3 with 2 RBI on the night so far. And the Wildcats have a 2-run lead at 6-4. Did I hear somebody singing the Orlando Magic victory song? What? What? That's a new one. I know that the public address announcer here, George, works for the Orlando Magic part-time, but I don't think he's singing. Here's the first pitch, and it hits Jorge Rodriguez up around the shoulders. He turned his back to it, and that caught him right between the shoulder blades, and the athletic trainer is going to have to come out here, and I wouldn't be surprised if Stetson is close to making a pitching change, as indeed they are scrambling some white jerseys to start stretching in the bullpen beyond the right field wall, because that pitch was thrown in anger. It was up at 87 miles an hour. up and in. Rodriguez turned away from it and ended up catching him right between the shoulder blades. And he's got hitting coach, Coach Allen, Coach Hernandez, and the athletic trainer all looking at him behind the third baseline over towards the Wildcat dugout. He's going to fist bump the coaching staff and maybe head to first. So we'll have runners on the corners. Gonzalez at third. And Rodriguez, when he gets over there at first, he'll now take off the batting paraphernalia and trot down over there to the first base bag. But ever since Walker came into the game in the beginning of the third, he's given up now 4 runs on 3, 4, 5 hits. And the Wildcats have taken a 6-4 lead, so hang in there, folks. We could be in for a long one tonight, as there's going to be a meeting on the mound. Pitching coach Daniel Latham will come out for Stetson to confer with the sophomore Walker. Second season as the pitching coach for the Hatters, Latham. Currently, the Stetson Hatters are 15-9 in A-Sun play, currently sit third in that conference. Lost 2 out of 3 to league leaders Austin Peay over the weekend. And if they had flipped that script, the Hatters would be leading the A-Sun, because Austin Peay and Florida Gulf Coast are just a game ahead of Stetson and Jacksonville. 16 wins for Peay and FGCU, 15 wins for Stetson and Jacksonville, and then Kennesaw State is right there with 14 wins. Lipscomb, the preseason favorite in the A-Sun, not too far behind with 13 wins. In the SWAC, the Wildcats, by virtue of taking 2 out of 3 from Florida A&M over the weekend, moved to 1 back of first place in the East. FAMU still has it at 18-6. Wildcats 17-7, Alabama State 15-9, Jackson State 13-11, Alabama A&M 8-16. And I think if you come down to the end of the season and you look at the series against Alabama A&M, where the Wildcats scored 20 runs in the first inning. We're going to have a pitching change here for Stetson, as TJ Milani's going to pitch. So Walker goes an inning and 2/3, gives up 4 runs on 5 hits, 1 error in the field, and is currently, if this score holds, which we have no reason to believe it will, in line for the loss. And we will see TJ Milani. I'll get you his numbers momentarily. He's got a 4.50 ERA, 3-0 in 12 appearances with no starts. Pitched 16 innings all out of the bullpen this season. He's given up 8 runs on 11 hits, all earned. Striking out 12 and walking just 5. He's allowed 1 double, 3 homers, and a 193 batting average against, which is the best on this Stetson staff. A Stetson staff, might I remind you, that leads the A-Sun in earned run average. So Milani, one of the best arms out of the bullpen to try and quiet these Wildcat bats here in the 4th. Bethune-Cookman has a 6-4 lead. They have runners on the corners. Gonzalez at third after his RBI ground rule double. And Rodriguez at first after he was hit by a pitch, and it'll bring up Colton Olison, who's 0 for 2. Olison grounded out to the pitcher his first time up. It was a great snag by Heil. And here is Olison. First pitch to him from Milani is low, ball 1. TJ, a right-hand pitcher. Kind of a almost sidearm delivery.
For your Hatters, number 32, TJ Milani.
If you think of the arms on a clock, maybe not quite 3 o'clock for a full sidearm, but like maybe a 2 o'clock arm angle for TJ Milani, the right-hander. And his 1-0 to Olison. is a fastball strike down the middle, 90 miles an hour. He's the fastest we've seen yet. Milani, the redshirt sophomore from nearby Sanford Seminole High School. Rodriguez took second on the previous pitch with no throw, so that's a stolen base for him. There's a slider ball outside, 2-1. So second and third for the Cats. 2 down, 2 already in the fourth. They have a 6-4 lead. First batter faced for Milani pitch. Inside, almost hit Olesen as he leaps backwards. That was something, even though I played baseball for many years, I never really got used to. I was trying to dodge out of the way of a ball in the 70s, 80s coming straight at you. Here's the 3-1 from Milani. And the pitch. Fouled straight back to the screen. Again, touching 90 on the speedometer is TJ. Lots of young talent, especially in the bullpen on this Stetson Hatters side. We've seen a freshman and 2 sophomores so far tonight. Here's the 3-2. Strike 3. Olesen watches it down the middle and the inning is over. But the Wildcats get 2 runs on 2 hits and strand 2. And we go to the bottom of the fourth. Bethune-Cookman leads it 6-4 here on CatEye Network Radio. Back live at Melching Field in DeLand on the campus of Stetson University. Wildcats lead at 6-4 as we go to the bottom of the fourth. The 9-hole hitter leads off. Correction, it's the leadoff hitter, Kyle Jones, as I was 1 batter behind on my score sheet. Jones singled in the first, came around to score on the Lorenzo Miola RBI single. First pitch to him from Colby Lepovsky, who's beginning his second full inning of work, is low, ball 1. And then Jones flew out to left. Nice reaching grab in the second. Pops this one sky high, shallow center. Nice job by Rivera to come in from left to make the catch. He called off Colton Olesen. I've noticed that a bit more this year. A lot of the outfielders are calling off Colton more so than in previous years. I think last year, maybe even the year before, Colton Olesen tries to catch that ball, but this year I think it must have been a coach's initiative to try and spread the love, especially on the right-hand side of that infield and early outfield. First pitch, a fastball strike to Isaiah Barquette. Flew out to center in the first, single to center in the second. Barquette, he turns the bunt, lays one down, pitcher's side, left-hand side. Lepovsky throws to first. Oh, safe. Barquette there by half a step. And that's the second bunt single of the game. 1 for the Wildcats in the form of Daniel Figueroa, and now 1 for Stetson. That was not as perfect of a bunt as Daniel Figueroa's was back in the second inning, but They got the job done as Barquette fast enough to beat out the throw by half a step. First pitch, a fastball strike outside corner to Landon Moran, who's been hit by 2 pitches and scored a run. Came in on the home run by Hilton back in the first. With Barquette on first and 1 man out. There's a ball high, 1-1. The last rays of the sun gleaming off the wispy clouds as that one bounced to the plate. Nice job by Rodriguez to keep it in front of him, 2-1. This was a bit of an earlier start than our usual midweek affair starting at 7 o'clock. This one is 6:30 p.m. first pitch. So it's not going to get dark as fast as it usually would, especially as we're now getting on towards summer. Fastball outside. 3-1 now. Lefty to lefty matchup, Lipovsky versus Moran. 1 on, 1 out. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That one's hit in the air to right field. Moving over Rivera. He will track it down and make the catch right in front of the scoreboard. That's not as easy of a catch as maybe some of you watching on ESPN Plus and listening to us at the same time would like to believe. That was a long run for Sergio Rivera to track that one down about 5 steps from the track. And now here's Logan Hughes. He's 0 for 2, but hits the ball hard twice. Lefty to lefty first pitch from Lipovsky is a spin and a throwback to first. Hughes lined out to Colton Olison at second at maybe the second hardest hit ball of the night besides the Hilton home run, but it was just straight at Colton. Fastball outside, 1-0. Then in the second, he flied out to center field and sent Figueroa back towards the track. One on, 1 out pitch. Sorry, 2 outs. Outside, just missed with the fastball. 2-0 the count on Logan Hughes. Wildcats trying for potentially the fastest inning on defense of the game. It's been a wild ride, both sides of the ball. That one's laced to center field and deep. Back goes Figueroa. Near the track, he makes the catch to end the inning. I'll tell you what, every Stetson piece of contact has been hard hit, but the wind is blowing in from the outfield, and it's kept a lot of balls in the park tonight. No runs, 1 hit on the bunt single, and 1 left. And we go to the 5th inning of play, 6-4 Wildcats here on CatEye Network Radio. Sophomore TJ Milani, as I get my pitchers mixed up. Milani starts his first full inning of work, second inning on the mound as he came in and got Colton Olison looking to end the 4th. Wildcats up 6-4 as we go to the top of the 5th here in DeLand. Wildcats looking for a season sweep over the Stetson Hatters. Leading off the inning is Jorge Gonzalez Fabo. First pitch from Milani is fouled away to the right-hand side. Make sure you are representing Bethune-Cookman University Athletics to the fullest. Buy the latest BCU gear online at the Bethune-Cookman online store. Go to bcuathletics.com and click on shop to find the newest BCU clothing and apparel. That's bcuathletics.com and click on shop. Fabo swings so hard and misses at a fastball. The bat flies out of his hands and hits the netting behind the plate. That's the first time I've seen that this year. And you don't see it very often at this level. But you know, if you've been listening to our broadcast this year, that Jorge Gonzalez Fabo, like Manny Sufrain, swings to take the cover off the ball every time he's up at the plate. And here's the 0-2. Watches ball one outside. That one didn't miss by much. I think the next dimension to Jorge's game is just to develop that sense of touch that Manny Sufrain is starting to develop this season. The 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. So back-to-back strikeouts in the first 2 batters that TJ Milani has faced across the inning break. And here is Jamie Villafane. He's been on base twice, walked in the second and singled in the third. And the first pitch from Milani, right at a righty, inside, ball 1. Milani has the most velocity on his fastball that the Wildcats have seen tonight. It's chilling up there in the high 80s to low 90s. 1-0. Bunted right in front of the plate. Milani fields and fires in time to get Villafane, and there's 2 away. I don't mind that choice for Villafane. He is fast, and he almost took advantage of some confusion between Milani and the catcher, Daniel Labrador. So they ran into each other a little bit in front of the plate, but eventually Milani came up with it and fired to first. Now 2 away, back to the top of the order, Daniel Figueroa. First pitch to him is a slider, strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Figueroa walked in the first, came around to score on the Sufrain sac fly. Hit a bunt single in the second down the third baseline. 0-1, upstairs 1-1. Stole second and eventually was stranded there, and then flew out to center to begin the fourth. So, no hits yet for Figueroa except the bunt. 1-1. Fouls it away straight back. And it's 1-2. And TJ Milani has come in and done exactly what his coaching staff asked of him, which was settle down this game, which has been high action crazy. And we have 10 runs here in the top of the 5th. 6-4 Wildcats. 1-2 from Milani, looking to get the Wildcats to go 1-2-3. And he does, with another swinging strikeout on the high fastball. First 1-2-3 inning of the night for either team, as the Wildcats get nothing in the frame. We go to the bottom of the 5th, 6-4 Bethune-Cookman here on CatEye Network Radio. Lorenzo Miola leads off for the Stetson Hatters as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Bethune-Cookman with a 6-4 lead. Colby Lepovsky, who came in to get the last out of the second, is still on the hill. coming into this half inning with 43 pitches thrown on the night. Miola 1 for 2, singled and came around to score on the Hilton home run back in the first and then flied out to left in the third. The lefty Lepovsky deals to the righty Miola. First pitch inside, ball one. Correction, it's 2-0. I missed the first pitch somehow. 2-0, inside almost hit him 3-0, and I wouldn't be surprised if Lepovsky starts off this inning a bit shaky that we see a new pitcher for the Wildcats. And there's a strike down the middle, 3-1. Lepovsky deals. Hit hard to center field. Going back, Figueroa. He tracks it towards the wall, and it's caught 3 steps ahead of the track. Again, every piece of contact the Hatters have had tonight has been hard hit. But the wind is blowing in from the outfield just slightly, and the Wildcat outfielders have done a tremendous job at tracking down balls in the gaps. Here's Brandon Hilton with the home run in the first inning, the 3-run bomb that at the time gave the Hatters a 4-1 lead. The Wildcats have held Stetson scoreless since. 1-0 from Lepovsky outside, missed with the breaking ball, 2-0. Second straight batter this inning that Lepovsky has started behind 2-0. And he misses it low, second straight batter that he has started behind 3-0. Lepovsky now at 48 pitches. His season high 76 as he walks Hilton on 4 pitches. So that one nowhere near competitive. Correction, career season high for Lepovsky, 86. That's in the win against Miami where he went 6 innings, gave up 2 runs on 4 hits, just 1 earned. And he's having a very good performance here tonight. This evening, I'll get you Lepovsky's numbers as a slider is in there for a strike to Daniel Labrador. Labrador 0 for 1 with a walk back in the third. In the first, he flied out to left, just missed a home run by a couple feet. That was to end the first. He swings and misses at a changeup in the dirt, and it's 0-2. Lepovsky, 1 strikeout, 3 walks, 2 2/3 innings pitched, 52 pitches, and he bounces one to the plate. Rodriguez can't find it. It's going to be a wild pitch that allows Brandon Hilton to go to second. But again, Lepovsky has done what the game plan is for pitchers in this Wildcat staff, which is get easy contact for your defenders to deal with. But now a runner on second with 1 out. Labrador grounds it to short. Off the wrist of Villafane. He's got no throw at first and everybody's safe. It's going to be an error on Jamie Villafane at short.
What the dog doing?
I think Jamie was caught in 2 minds there. He wanted to check the runner at second, make sure Hilton didn't take off for third. And while he was doing that, took his eye off the ball. Ball bounced off his wrist, and Labrador safe at first. Second error of the game for Bethune-Cookman. The ball gets by the catcher, and everybody moves up 90 feet on the first pitch to Johan Dessereau. So now Stetson really turning the screws here. Second wild pitch of the inning for Colby Lepovsky, and that might be the end for Lepovsky. We'll see. Colton Olesen, the captain, calls timeout and walks to the mound. The rest of the infield will join him. Stay up to date with everything Bethune-Cookman Athletics by checking out the Wildcats on social media. Give BCU Athletics a like on Facebook and follow the Wildcats on Twitter and Instagram at BCU_athletics. For the latest on BCU baseball, follow at BCU Diamondcats on Twitter and Instagram. Well, the Wildcats baseball team, not the only team wearing maroon and gold to take the field today. Softball played their first game at the SWAC tournament this morning. And unfortunately, after leading 2-1, fell 6-2 to Texas Southern. They dropped to the lower bracket and will play Arkansas Pine Bluff tomorrow in a winner-go-home situation. We are sending our best to the Lady Wildcats of the softball diamond. First pitch, a breaking ball. After the timeout to Desero, the count is 1-1. Second and third, one out. Ground ball towards first. It's going to stay fair. Stepping on the bag is Sue Frayne. Coming home is Hilton. He scores, and it's a one-run game. The Wildcats lead now just 6-5. And this is a run of the Wildcats' own making. The two wild pitches after the walk to Brandon Hilton. Because if the runners are on first and second, they don't score that run, and now there's second and third with two outs. But now there's a runner on third only as Labrador moves up with two down for the 9-hole hitter, Mike Handel. And that's going to be the end for Colby Lepofsky. And we are going to have a pinch hitter as well for Stetson. Evan Griffiths is going to come to the plate to be the first batter that the next BCU pitcher will face, as we have a fresh face trotting in from the pen. And again, it's now dark with the floodlights on, the dark numbers on the dark jerseys. Kind of hard to tell for the Wildcats who is coming in. It looks like it might be Aaron Schaefer, but I will double check.
Your attention, please, on the pitch for the Wildcats, number 35, Dylan Vega.
Nope, it is Dylan Vega. So the final line for Colby Lepofsky, he goes 3 full innings, gives up 1 run unearned, walking 3, striking out 1. Of course, the 2 wild pitches really did him in this inning. So a tough one as Vega comes in to try and once again salvage a slim Wildcat advantage. Their lead is down to 6-5 with 2 away in the bottom of the 5th, and the tying run on third in the form of Daniel Labrador. It's going to be Dylan Vega, the new pitcher for the Wildcats. He's a graduate student from Pembroke Pines, Florida, and Pembroke Pines Charter High School, a transfer from USF, where he spent the last 2 years. Before that, a freshman at State College of Florida. Last year at USF, made 9 relief appearances with a 12.86 ERA. Only 7 innings of work for Vega. This season, Dylan has a 4.83 ERA and 18 appearances with no starts. He's 1-2 on the year. In 31 2/3 innings pitched, he's given up 22 runs on 29 hits, 17 of those earned. Striking out 21 and walking 12. He's allowed 9 doubles, 2 triples, a homer, with opponents batting .246 against him. The crooked number for Dylan Vega is 7 batters hit, which is the most of any Wildcats pitcher, even those who have far more innings pitched than him, like Tanner Bocabello and Daniel Gaviria.
Your attention, please. Pitch hitting in the number 9 position for Mike Handel, number 11, Evan Griffiths.
So Evan Griffiths will pinch hit in the 9 spot for Mike Handel. Handel was 0 for 2. And Griffiths will come in to try and bring the run home from third with 2 down. First pitch from Vega, a strike at the letters. Griffiths, a .207 hitter, 16 runs on 18 hits. Here's the pitch. Ground ball towards first. It is off the bag and off the shoulder of Manny Soufrain, and the run will score to tie the game. That is a ridiculous, unfortunate turn of events. Manny Soufrain had that one tracked all the way. It popped off the bag and off his shoulder and into foul territory.
Leadoff hitter, Kyle Jones.
Labrador scores. It is 6-6. Wow. Sometimes the turn of fortune favors the opposition, as it did right there. They're going to give Griffiths a single. And a spin and a throwback to first. Griffiths dives in safely. Wildcats have had some tough luck in this inning. The 2 wild pitches, and now that ball that should have been the end of the inning bounces off the first base bag. They spin and throw back to first, and barely safe is Griffiths. Steal numbers for Griffiths on the season. He's 4 of 6 on stolen bases. And again, hard done on Dylan Vega as he gets a run tacked against him, unearned of course. There's a fastball upstairs, ball 1 to Kyle Jones, back to the top of the order for Stetson. Jones hit the ball hard every time he's been up, singled up the middle of the first, eventually came around to score. Then fly to left in the second, fly to right in the fourth. Once again, 2 down here in the fifth. For the third time, they check on Griffiths at first. I think they just try to maybe catch Griffiths napping freshly into the game from off the bench. Pitch. Breaking ball, flied out, foul. Out of play behind the plate. And it's 1-1 the count. I think Vega just needs to try and focus on getting Jones out here and getting the Wildcats off the field. And I talk about it so much. Finishing with 2 outs, getting off the field. It's just punished the Wildcats over and over again as a fastball strike on the inside corner, 1-2. As the Hatters have scored 2 times here in the bottom of the fifth, their first tally since the first inning, and have tied the game at 6. 1-2. Fouled away again to the right side. Count holds. There are 2 scoreboards here at Melching Field, just like in Daytona Beach over at the Jack. One is newer, a video board, and one is older. Not a manual scoreboard, but a dial-esque scoreboard with red numbers off to the left. The video board is to right field. Count is 1-2. Pitch. Golfed, foul territory, right-hand side. That will go out of play and into the batting cages. So Jones just late on some of these fastball offerings from Vega. He catches up to one and straightens one out. This could be trouble. Wildcats trying to get out of the inning, still tied at 6. Vega in. And he's given up 2 runs and 2 hitters. Neither of them really his fault. Pitch. Ground ball up the middle. There's a base hit. Under the glove of Vega and into center field. Kyle Jones has his second hit of the game, and the inning continues. The Wildcats, who should have been in the dugout multiple times this inning, find themselves now trying to protect a tie game. Isaiah Barquette to the plate. Barquette 2 for 3. Flied out to center in the first. First pitch to him is a ball high. Single to center in the second did Barquette, and then laid a bunt down for a single in the fourth. And there's a ball low. 83 on the gun from Vega. The count is not updated on the video board, but I believe it is no balls and two balls and no strikes. Two on, two out for the Hatters. Fouled away, and it's 2-1. Evan Griffiths leads off of second after his RBI single to first. That hit off the bag that would have ended the inning. Kyle Jones leads off of first after his single up the middle. The count is 3-1 now on Barquette. As the crowd gets a little rowdy here at Melching Field. Vega deals. There's a strike. Just caught the outside corner with it on the slider. And the count runs full. Sun completely down now. Floodlights on as we just passed 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. The full count delivery from Dylan Vega. In the air to right field. Back goes Rivera. He will basket catch it over his right shoulder. But the Hatters get 2 runs, 2 runs, 2 hits, an error, and 2 left on. And we go to the 6th inning of play, tied at 6 here in DeLand on CatEye Network Radio. Top of the 6th in a 6-6 ball game. TJ Milani still on the hill for Stetson. First batter to face him in this inning is Garrett Chun. Takes a ball high. Defensive substitution, Evan Griffiths goes to left after pinch hitting in the last inning. There's a fastball outside 2-0. Hughes goes from left to right. Handle is retired from the game. And a fastball strike down the middle to Chun, 2-1. Milani has done nothing but come into the game and be brilliant. 4 batters faced, 3 strikeouts. The only contact the Wildcats have made is a bunt. Only contact that went into the field of play, I might add, as Chun fouls one away, and it's 2-2. TJ from nearby Sanford Seminole High School, playing his 2nd season with the Hatters. The 2-2 pitch from the lefty is golfed sky high down the 3rd baseline, and it will just barely make the seats over the netting with Barquette, the 3rd baseman, in chase. Has technically been here for 3 seasons. Milani redshirted his freshman year due to a surgery in the offseason. Missed with that fastball just up and away. Count 3-2. Crowd doesn't agree with it here at Melching Field. He made 12 relief appearances last year. And he walks Garrett Chun upstairs and away. That one was not as close as the previous pitch. But Chun continues his pretty good night of plate discipline, as he walked in the first, hit an RBI sac fly to left in the second, single to left of the fourth, and now just picked up his second walk of the game, as there's going to be a player-led meeting on the mound. The first baseman, Moran, the catcher, Labrador, the pitcher, TJ Milani. Last season, in his first full year as a Hatter, 12 relief appearances on the year, 17 runs allowed, and 15 2/3 innings pitched, with 12 strikeouts and 9 walks. This season, his longest appearance, a 48-pitch affair against the Bradley Braves back on the 8th of March, right back at the beginning of the season. As the pitching coach is now going to come out and talk to TJ Milani, so you wonder if this is maybe an injury concern for TJ, because he's only thrown, I think, 18 pitches, or maybe 23 pitches, which is nowhere near his season high. He's averaging in the 30s to 40s out of the bullpen this year. He is technically 3-0 on the year. That game against Bradley, he picked up a win in a 9-8 contest against Lipscomb in conference play, and then a win at North Florida also in conference play, where he went 2 full innings the back end of that game. Stetson trying to recover this week ahead of a series against Queens. The Royals sit near the bottom of the A-Sun standings at 8-16. That is going to be the end for TJ Milani quite abruptly, I might add. He was cruising before that walk, but I know he's had some injury concerns in the past. Maybe something didn't feel quite right, and there's going to be a new pitcher on the hill for Stetson, their 4th hurler of the game. We will meet him shortly. It's Dylan Jacobs, as I write him in my scorecard. Maybe so it's legible, Mr. Turillo. If you don't know me, writing is something I struggle with. So Jacobs on the hill. His numbers on the year are as follows. He's got a 5.82 ERA, 1-1. 12 appearances with 7 starts for Jacobs, 38 2/3 innings pitched. So he's thrown the most innings pitched by anybody out of the pen, quote unquote, for the Hatters this year. He's allowed 28 runs on 53 hits, 25 of those earned, striking out 37 and walking 16. He's allowed 9 doubles, no triples, 5 homers, with an opposing batting average of .315. He's been more of a pitch-to-contact type pitcher on his numbers. 2 wild pitches on the year for Jacobs. And the first batter he will face for the Wildcats is Sergio Rivera. Garrett Chun is on first after drawing a leadoff walk here in the 6th in a 6-6 ball game that has gone back and forth like a kid on a seesaw at the park. Wildcats got 1 in the first. Stetson responded with 4 in the first. Then it was all Wildcats for the next 3 innings. They got 1 in the second, 2 in the third, and 2 in the fourth to take a 6-4 lead. And then the Wildcats unable to get out of the 5th inning, as 2 soft ground balls to first plated both Hilton and Labrador, who reached on a walk and an error respectively in a very sloppy inning for the Wildcats to tie up the game. So Sergio Rivera stands in, first batter to face Dylan Jacobs on the night. Jacobs, the right-hander, deals 90 miles an hour, a strike by the letters. A junior from Ocala, Jacobs. A career Hatter. TNXL Academy was his high school. Low and inside. The ball gets away from the catcher, and that allows Sergio Rivera, or excuse me, Garrett Chun, to scamper to second with a steal. We'll see if they credit that a steal or a wild pitch. we'll see what the official scores deem that as. Because Chun was going, even though the ball bounced off of Labrador's foot and rolled away. The live stats have not updated, so I think they're having the same discussion that I am with myself over here. There's a slider strike. And the count is 1-2 on Rivera, with now Chun on second. Wouldn't be surprised to see a bunt, maybe. They call it a pass ball, so no steal for Chun. Pitch, breaking ball misses low, 2-2. Now, if there weren't two strikes, I would say Rivera might want to maybe drag a bunt down the third base side. The infield for Stetson playing normal depth. Maybe trying to move Chun over to third in this tie game, but Rivera will swing and hit one in the air to center field. Moving to his right is Jones. He makes the catch. Chun's going to try and go to third. Here comes the throw. Chun is in there as the throw is well short, and so he'll tag up. Rivera does his job, moves Chun 90 feet, so I guess it's neither here nor there, because a sac bunt or a sac fly does the exact same thing. Chun 90 feet away. And now here's Jose Gonzalez, who struck out in the first, but after that's had a pretty good day at the plate. Singled to left in the third and came around to score on the Jorge Rodriguez double. And then hit a ground rule double to deep left center field that scored Garrett Chun in the fourth. That gave the Wildcats the lead. He laces one to left. It is going to bounce in front of Griffiths. That's going to score Chun from third. It's another RBI for Jose Gonzalez. Have a night, young man. And the Wildcats go back up on top. It's 7-6. You almost can't keep track of how fast this game is changing. It feels like a basketball game almost. Gonzalez has 3 hits tonight, all to left. He picks up an RBI as Chun scores. 7-6 Wildcats. And now here's Manny Soufrain with Gonzalez on first and one down. First pitch of ball inside. Soufrain 0 for 3 with 2 RBI. Sac fly in the first, flied out to left in the third, and then grounded out to second in the fourth, but also got an RBI there. There's a fastball strike outside corner, 1-1. Umpires tonight, Casey Sanchez behind the plate, Shannon Jennings at first, Matthew Safer at third. Gonzalez on first after his RBI single. And the 1-1 from Jacobs is a fastball strike, again touching 90 on the gun. Right on that outside corner. 1-2 the count to Soufrain, who's got to protect now. Manny trying to keep this inning going here. 1-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, took a little bit of heat off of it, misses outside, 2-2. I apologize if the background sound is yo-yoing a little bit tonight, as the 2-2 from Jacobs is a ball outside, just missed with the fastball at the knees, 3-2. The main speaker here at the field is right near our broadcast window, and ergo right by my microphone. So to try and avoid getting copyright struck or blowing your ears out, I've had to have my finger on the fader. Soufrain into center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. On his horse headed to third is Gonzalez. He'll be in there. And Soufrain keeps the inning alive with a single to center field. And there's runners on the corners. Nice contact from Manny Soufrain and a good at-bat as well. Battled back from down in the count. Forces a 3-2 pitch over the middle and just hammered it to center. Gonzalez moves all the way to third. The Wildcats have another runner 90 feet away.
Now batting the catcher, Jorge Rodriguez.
Here is Jorge Rodriguez. Now runners on the corners for Rodriguez, the catcher. This is a righty-to-righty battle. And the pitch from Jacobs is a slider outside, ball one. Rodriguez tonight flew out to right to end the first, then doubled and scored on the 2 RBI error by Gonzalez-Fabo in the third. Was hit by a pitch in the fourth, was stranded on second. And another slider, which will catch the bottom part of the zone this time for a strike. Jacobs has about a 10-mile-an-hour difference between his fastball and his off-speed. About 90 to about 81. Fastball to slider. Here's the pitch. He pumps the fastball in there at 90 miles an hour, but it's low. 2-1 the count to Rodriguez. Runners on the corners here. The only reason that I think we still have runners on the corners is the runner on first is Manny Sufrain, who's not the fastest guy in the world, so he hasn't really gotten the green light to steal. Pitch outside, ball 3. Hitters count now for Rodriguez. Jacobs, the junior from Ocala, began his career at Florida State back in 2022 before coming over here to Stetson. That one's popped high in the air behind the plate, and it will make the seats. Labrador thought he could track it for a second, but eventually just gave up, and the count runs full now. Jacobs trying to work out of a tough spot here. Wildcats with a 1 already in the inning. Chun has scored on the Gonzalez RBI single. Then Sufrain singled. All that around the Rivera pop-out. 3-2 pitch. Outside, ball 4. And the bases are full of Wildcats. Sufrain on to second. Rodriguez at first. And Colton Olison will be the batter. Olison, one of 2 Wildcats to not reach base tonight. Actually, now the only one with the single by Sufrain earlier in this inning. So Colton looking for his first reach of base tonight. There's a fastball, strike at the letters. He's 0 for 3, Olison, a ground out to the pitcher, a pop out to center, and a strikeout looking to end the fourth with 2 runners on. Pitch. Swing and a miss way out in front of the changeup. And now he is down 0-2, and we're going to get a timeout as Hunter Allen, the pitching coach, is going to come out to talk to Olison, as neither of those first 2 swings for Colton were anything resembling competitive. Coach Hernandez spoke very highly of the work that Colton has done this year in our pregame interview. I mean, it feels like a lifetime ago, as we're already almost cresting 9 p.m. Eastern time. This game started back at 6:30, so my interview was back at around 5:30 when I recorded the pregame show. But he spoke very highly of Colton, especially at the plate. He's had good plate discipline recently. He's raised his average almost 100 points in the last couple of weeks, working around a hand injury as well that's kept him out for a couple of games. The 0-2 is in the dirt after the timeout. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gonzalez is at third, Sufrain at second, Rodriguez at first. Wildcats with a 7-6 lead here, as that one is outside. Missed with a fastball to Jacobs, and it's 2-2. As we play in the top of the 6th. The first game between these 2 teams back in Daytona Beach was a knockdown, drag-out battle. Olison pops it sky high, shallow right. Moving in is Hughes. He will make the catch. Chun's going to try and score. No. He puts on the brakes, and the ball pops away from Labrador. So if he had committed to it, I think Gonzalez at third. If he had committed to it, I think he could have scored. But unfortunately, there was no way to know that Labrador was going to muff that ball. So the bases remain loaded. And again, not a great night for Colton at the plate. And it's going to be up to Jorge Gonzalez-Fabo to continue this inning for Bethune-Cookman. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Wildcats with a run in the inning lead 7-6. First pitch, a fireballing fastball at 91 down the middle. And again, my advice to Fabo, just like the last time he was up before he struck out. He doesn't need to do too much with this. Check swing, ball in the dirt. Did he go? Yes! And the count is 0-2, so second straight batter that Jacobs has gotten 0-2. And the crowd here, the bleacher creatures as they like to call them at Stetson, trying to come to their feet. 7-6 Wildcats. Here's the pitch to Fabo. It's in the dirt. Good eye by Jorge. Lots of promise in this true freshman, Jorge Gonzalez Fabo. Already 2 home runs on the year, including the first pitch he saw as a collegiate baseball player back against Stonehill all the way back in February. But he's behind 1-2 with the bases loaded and 2 down. Jacobs, the righty, deals, and he swings and misses. Jacobs turns and pumps his fist at the dugout, and for the second time in the game, the Wildcats leave the bases loaded, but they do score 1 run on 2 hits and leave them loaded. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Wildcats up 7-6 here on CatEye Network Radio. We go to the bottom of the 6th here in the land. The Wildcats plate 1, where Jose Gonzalez single in the top of the 6th. They lead at 7-6. But the ever dangerous Stetson Hatter Bats are back at the plate. Landon Moran leads off, lefty batter against the righty Dylan Vega. The first pitch is in the air, left center field. It's hanging up for Figueroa to chase, and he will run it down near the track in left center, 1 down. Almost everything that Stetson has touched with the bat tonight has been hard contact. But the Wildcats outfield has done the job for the most part. Most of the Wildcats' wounds have been self-inflicted, apart from the 3-run homer by Hilton in the first. As the Wildcats had a 6-4 lead before the 5th, when the Wildcats let a run go through on an error and a weird bobble. Sorry, let 2 runs go through on an error and a weird bobble at first that went off the first base bag that would have ended the inning. Anyway, the Wildcats are up 7-6. The count is 1-1 on Logan Hughes, the next batter. And Hughes fouls it away. That didn't sound like it hit much of his bat. Looks like it came off the meaty part of his thigh, but he'll stay in there. Hughes in the game 0 for 3. Line out to short, fly out to center, and fly out to center. His 3 trips to the plate. He's behind 1-2. Vega winds and fires, and he grounds one towards short. Diving stop by Villafañe, but all he can do is keep it on the infield. No play at first. An infield single for Logan Hughes. And now is Lorenzo Miola. Lorenzo on the night, 1 for 3. A single and a run scored back in the first was driven in by the home run of Brandon Hilton. Other than that, he's flied out to left and flied out to center in his last 2 plate appearances. He's got Logan Hughes on first after an infield single, 1 gone. Bottom 6, Wildcats with a 1-run lead. First pitch, a slider that just catches the inside corner, righty to righty for Dylan Vega. Wildcats do have 1 warming in the bullpen. Stetson has 2 warming in the pen out beyond the outfield. Vega, fastball, misses inside with it. We talk about variance of speed between the fastball and the off-speed pitch. Vega's fastball hovers around 86, 87. His off-speed clocking it at 83, 82, so there's not a lot of variance there. Here's his 1-1 as a spin and a throwback to first. Diving in safely is Hughes. Whereas, you've got guys for Stetson like Milani and Jacobs who are touching 90 with the fastball and coming in at 78, 79, 80 with their off-speed stuff. Here's the 1-1 from Vega. Grounded towards third and through for a base hit past Fabo's glove. 2 straight singles to open up the inning, and now the tying run is in scoring position as Hughes moves to second with 1 gone in the frame. Here is the home run hitter from back in the first, Brandon Hilton. Crushed one deep over the right field wall. The lefty hitter will stand in to face Vega. Since that 3-run bomb, Hilton has walked twice and scored. He was the beneficiary of that weird bounce at first base back in the last inning. Breaking ball finds the outside corner for strike 1. Neither team has turned a double play in this contest. Boy, would the Wildcats love one here. The 0-1. That one's lined to right field. There's a base hit. Racing home from second is Hughes. Throw to the plate. Hughes is safe. He barely got in under the tag. It was a great throw from Rivera in from right, but it was just a half-second late, and the game is tied again. 3 straight singles for Stetson, and it is 7-7. Miola moves from first to third. Hughes scores from second. Hilton into first. And now here's Daniel Labrador, who is technically 0 for 1 tonight. Flied out in the first to deep left field. Barely missed a home run. After that, he walked in the third, reached on an error in the fifth, and eventually came around to score on the Evan Griffiths pinch hit single. And he's got runners on the corners with 1 down. Pitch. And Vega hit him. Got him on the hip, and I think that should be the end for Dylan Vega. It could be anyway. I'm not going to say. I said should. That's not what I meant. Could be the end for Vega. As Stetson, now the second time through seeing him, has really been turning on him in this inning. 3 hard-hit singles, and here comes Coach Hernandez. That will be the end for Dylan Vega. Vega in line for the loss, unfortunately, because he is now responsible for the base runners. Hilton at second, Labrador at first after the hit by pitch, and Miola at third. We got a light show here at Melching Field. Not sure why they're introducing our pitcher with a light show, but there it is. Bases loaded, 1 out. The tying run already in the inning. So the inning started with a fly ball to center by Moran. Then Hughes singled on the infield. Miola singled to left. Hilton singled to first, and Labrador was hit by a pitch. And we've got one of our social media managers, Autumn, in the box with me tonight. I said to Autumn in between the innings, when the Wildcats left the bases loaded with 1 out and didn't score more than 1 run, I said, if we end up coming back to lose this game, That's going to be the pivotal moment when the Wildcats did not put the Hatters away. Now it's tied, 1 out in the 6th, and the Hatters have the bases loaded for a new Wildcat pitcher, their 4th of the night. And I believe it is, it's not Esteban Torres, the freshman, is it? Let's see. No, it is Sebastian Garrido. Sebastian Garrido on to pitch. He's a junior from Miami, Florida, transfer from Barry University at the Division II level. Garrido, only his 5th appearance of the year. He's got a 5.14 ERA. 7 innings pitched. He's given up 9 runs on 7 hits, 4 earned, striking out 4 and walking 4. He's given up 1 double, 2 homers. Opponents batting .226 against him with 1 wild pitch and 1 hit by pitch. And he is in the toughest spot of the night for Bethune-Cookman. Johan Desereau is the batter. He's 0 for 3, Desereau, 2 strikeouts and an RBI ground out in the 5th. But the bases are full of Hatters with just 1 out. First pitch to Desereau, pop fly, shallow left. Going back from his shortstop spot is Villafaña. He falls down, sliding in to make the catch is the left fielder, Chun. Oh, what a crazy play. Villafaña, the shortstop, went all the way out there, called off Chun. He tripped and fell over, and then Chun slid in over him and grabbed the ball to save a run. What a crazy play in left. Wow. And now it's the pinch hitter, Evan Griffiths, who rolled one softly to first in the 5th as a pinch hitter that bounced off the first base bag. Manny Suframe was unable to corral it. That allowed the inning to continue. But now Garrido, as that first pitch is way outside, 1-0. On a wild occurrence in left field, now has the bases loaded, 2 down, and has a chance of getting out of this with the game still tied at 7. Garrido's 1-0. Popped up, foul territory, first base side, out of play.
Your attention, please. Pitch running at first base for Daniel Latimer, number 0, Juan De La Cruz.
We've got Juan De La Cruz. Pinch running at first. So he's on first, De La Cruz. Hilton on second, Mayola on third. Here's the pitch. And it's low from the lefty Garrido. 2 balls and 1 strike the count. And I think you gotta pitch to Griffiths here and let your defense do the work if you're Garrido. Low. And Garrido is now a ball away from walking in a run. 3-1 the count. Just got to throw a strike here. Just got to throw a strike. The game at a tipping point. Bases loaded, 2 outs, tie ball game. Pitch, ground ball, softly hit towards back to the pitcher. Garrido throws to first. In time! Sebastian Garrido comes in, gets 2 outs, and strands the bases loaded. 1 run, 3 hits, bases left loaded, and we are tied at 7, going to the 7th. What craziness awaits us in the last 3 innings? Stay tuned to find out. This is Bethune-Cookman University Baseball on CatEye Network Radio. We go to the 7th in one of the craziest games of the year for BCU baseball. Tied at 7. Villafane leads off. He's behind 1-0. New pitcher for Stetson is McCulley. Mike McCulley, another strike down the middle, 0-2. McCulley, the redshirt senior from New York, popped up on the infield from Villafane. Shortstop has a bead on it. Miola makes the catch.
Leadoff hitter, Daniel Figueroa.
And back to the top of the order now with Daniel Figueroa. McCulley, a 13.50 ERA on the season. His first pitch is a strike. He's been nothing but just pound that zone up by the letters. McCulley, only his 4th appearance on the season. Another strike watched into the glove of the new catcher, Gio Cueto. So Cueto replaces Labrador, who was pinch run for in the last inning. And the second straight Wildcat batter to begin the inning to be behind 0-2 is Figueroa, who walked in the first and scored. He swings and misses, and McCulley has 2 quick outs to begin his pitching standard. And now Garrett Chun will bat with 2 down in the 7th. I'm not even through McCulley's numbers yet. Again, he's only has 3 appearances with 1 start, 2 innings pitched. He's given up 3 runs on 4 hits, all earned. Striking out 1, walking 2. Of course, that was before the strikeout to Figueroa. First pitch, a swing and a miss from Chun. Only 79 miles an hour, and I think it's such a big difference from the last 2 pitchers, Jacobs and Milani, were touching 90 on the gun. There's finally a breaking ball that misses low and inside. That's the first pitch taken for a ball in the inning by the Wildcats. McCulley, a redshirt senior from Cazenovia, New York. And Figueroa pops it sky high to shallow right, moving in Hughes. He makes the catch in a very quick inning for McCulley. Just 7 pitches needed to get 3 outs. We go to the bottom of the 7th, still tied at 7. Tied to stretch here at Melching Field in DeLand. 7 for the Wildcats, 7 for the Hatters here on CatEye Network Radio. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Sebastian Garrido gets a full inning of work on the mound now after coming in and getting 2 outs with the bases loaded to keep this game tied at 7 back in the 6th. Both teams have stranded 11 runners through 6.5, and also both teams have scored 7 runs. This has been a wild contest. Almost kind of like the game that was played between these 2 teams back a month ago in Daytona Beach, where the Wildcats won it 8-7. Garrido, first pitch low. The batter is Kyle Jones. Jones 2 for 4, 2 singles up the middle, 2 flyouts, and a run scored. That run was scored back in the 1st. And Garrido, off-speed pitch, grounded foul, first base side, 1-1 the count. Up next for the Wildcats, a massive conference series, their final road trip of the season. Here's the 1-1. Garrido bounces it to the plate, 2-1, as they go to Jackson State Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. as the Wildcats really need to win 2 and would love to win 3 to keep the pressure on Florida A&M at the top of the Eastern Conference standings in the SWAC. Garrido's 2-1 to Jones is line drive into right field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. And it's bobbled by Rivera. So he's going to turn 1 bag into 2. A leadoff single and an error. And into second is Jones. He represents the winning run, and he's going to be not pinch run for. That's just a coach taking his batting gloves.
Third baseman, Isaiah Arquette.
So now it's Isaiah Barquette with the go-ahead run on second for Stetson and nobody out. Barquette, 2 for 4, 2 singles and 2 flyouts. He squares to bunt, and Garrido throws it wild. Rodriguez stretches to keep it in front of him. Count 1-0. The Wildcats won 8-7 in this matchup back in April. 1-0, squaring to bunt again is Barquette. He pops it up, but foul into the seats. And a fan sitting right below me makes a nice catch. Gets a nice little cheer from the crowd. The count 1-1. So Jones on second after a leadoff single and error. Barquette squares to bunt again. Here come the corners in. And it is low ball 2, 2-1 the count. Something about the 2 baseball teams in representing Division I athletics in Volusia County. When they get together, wild things happen, especially the last couple of years. As we are about to crest the 3-hour mark of this game. Ground ball to second. They've got Jones in a rundown between second and third, and they will tag him out. So the Wildcats get the lead run. Barquette on with a fielder's choice. Would you believe that's the first fielder's choice of the game for either team? And we're in the 7th inning. So Jones out in a rundown between second and third, and that's, aside from a double play, probably best case scenario for Bethune-Cookman right there. You get the lead runner, take the runner out of scoring position. Now 1 down with Barquette at first for Landon Moran. He's been hit by a pitch twice and flied out to the outfield twice, Moran. Lefty to lefty, first pitch from Garrido, who steps off and throws over to first. Barquette, I don't even think was standing off the bag at that point. Didn't have to move to get back into safe territory. And I have been cursed. The 2 games that I've had to call solo this year, there's a strike from Garrido, 0-1, have both been marathon affairs, 3+ hours long. The other one was the UCF game, although that game was 14-1 in favor of the Knights. So I'll take this one over that one any day. 7-7 here in the bottom of the 7th. Garrido steps off and throws over again. I'm sure twists and turns to come in the final 2.5 frames. 1 out, 1 on first in the form of Barquette after a fielder's choice here, bottom of the 7th. Garrido finally comes home with it, misses outside. And Sebastian Garrido, the bottom end of the rotation guy for the Wildcats, hasn't really seen a lot of work this season. As the 1-1 is golf to left field and deep. Back goes Rivera, track, wall, he leaps, he made the catch, he throws it back to first, sliding in safely is Isaiah Barquette. A heroic effort from Sergio Rivera, who robs a homer almost from Landon Moran. The outfield has shown up tonight. Between Chun's heroics last inning with the bases loaded, Rivera's leaping catch, Now, and now there's 2 away with Barquette on first. They throw back over. The batter is Logan Hughes, who is 1 for 4. Lined out to Colton Olison at second in the first. 2 flyouts to center field, and then a infield single, and eventually came around to score in the 6th. That tied the game at 7. Runner goes. Here's the throw down to second. And safe just in under the tag with a stolen base. Isaiah Barquette goes from first to second. That's the first steal of the game for Stetson. The Wildcats only have 2. So for all of Coach Hernandez's talk about stealing bases and moving guys over in the pregame show, they haven't done much of it tonight. And they've had plenty of opportunities. 9 hits for the Wildcats, 11 hits for Stetson. That one low and outside, the count 2-0 on Logan Hughes. But once again, the number in the outs column reads 2. And that's where it's gotten interesting for Bethune-Cookman all year. 2-0 pitch, outside 3-0. And I think if Garrido gets through this, and the game is still tied, they may go to Pablo Torres next inning. We'll see. Here's a 3-0 pitch. Garrido the lefty, to Hughes the lefty. There's a strike. Hughes thought that was ball 4 up and away, but the home plate umpire Casey Sanchez keeps the at-bat going. We appreciate you joining us here on the CatEye Network Radio for our second to last road game of the season on CatEye Network Radio, not including the playoffs, of course. Here's the 3-1 from Garrido, bounced it to the plate, ball 4. So Hughes walks, and there are runners on first and second now with 2 outs, and the batter will be Lorenzo Miola, who is 2 for 4. Singled in the first, came around to score on the Hilton home run, and then singled to shallow left in the 6th, and eventually was stranded on third. Part of the bases loaded effort from Sebastian Garrido and the Wildcat defense, and I think that's the end from Garrido. Meeting on the mound, Hernandez signals to the bullpen, and that's the end for Sebastian. A short trip to the hill, but a very important one for Garrido. Sebastian goes an inning and a third, gives up 1 hit, walks 1, but crucially, no outs. No runs. And he has kept this game tied at 7. And as we await the new pitcher for the Wildcats, you can come be a part of BCU Athletics and support the CatEye Network. If your business is interested in partnering with us here on the CatEye Network, you can reach out to the Wildcats Athletic Communications Department at bcusportsinfo@cookman.edu. That's BCU Sportsinfo at cookman.edu. And your business could be on air with the Wildcats. There is no BC without you. Show your support for Bethune-Cookman Athletics by joining the Wildcat Champions Club today. Help us build a championship culture at Bethune-Cookman. You can donate and join at cookman.scalefunder.com. That's cookman.scalefunder.com. I still have not gotten a good look at who the new Bethune-Cookman pitcher is. It is Patrick Groark, the 5th pitcher of the game for the Wildcats, and he will come on again in a tough situation with the go-ahead run on second for the Hatters. The game tied at 7 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Here are Groark's numbers. 12 appearances with no starts. He's got a 1-1 record and a 4.42 ERA with 1 save on the year. In 18 and a third innings pitched, he's given up 10 runs on 12 hits, 9 earned. Walking 15, striking out 16. He's allowed 2 doubles, 4 homers with an opponent batting average of 185. 1 wild pitch and 4 hit batters for Gork. Another new addition to this BCU team this year. Patrick from Land O'Lakes, Florida, a transfer from Barton College. And he knows this building very well. Does Patrick Gork. Spent the 2023 offseason with the DeLand Suns of the Florida Collegiate Summer League. His first pitch, a breaking ball low. The batter is Lorenzo Miola, who is 2 for 4, 2 singles and 2 flyouts. There are 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. The go-ahead run is on second in the form of Isaiah Barquette. There's a strike, 1-1. Logan Hughes also at first. His walk was the last involvement by Sebastian Garrido. Gork deals. There's a strike, low and away, 1-2. Gork, a completely different kettle of fish to what Garrido was. There's a lot faster. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Strike 3 called. The ball gets away from Rivera. He throws to first to end the inning. A big scream from Patrick Gork as he's embraced by his teammates in the dugout. The Wildcats once again get some fantastic pitching and defense to keep this game level. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. And we go to the 8th inning. 2 innings left to decide this one, tied at 7 here on CatEye Network Radio. After throwing just 9 pitches in the top of the 7th to get 3 outs, Mike McCulley, who lowered his season ERA by 3 full points,
Leading off the right fielder, Sergio Rivera.
is back on the mound. He misses inside to Sergio Rivera. Rivera was hit by a pitch in the first, as that is a strike inside corner, 1-1. Grounded out to end the second. A great defensive play by Desero. Walked and scored in the 4th and flew out in the 6th. And he lines one down the third base line. That one's going to get down for a base hit. Rivera is going to make a big turn at first, but will eventually go back and leave it as just a single. Leadoff man aboard for Bethune-Cookman in this game that is balanced on the razor's edge, 7-7. It's been the middle of this Wildcats order that has done the damage, no more so than Jose Gonzalez. 3 hits, 2 RBI on the day for Gonzalez, and a run scored. And he's got Rivera on first with nobody out. McCulley deals, righty to righty, fastball strike right down the middle. McCulley doesn't really have the velocity of some of the other pitchers that Stetson has thrown tonight, but he has thrown a lot of pitches for strikes. He's got the Wildcats swinging early in the count. And it's made for a very quick inning the last time. Here's the pitch. There's a strike inside corner. And Gonzalez behind 0-2. Rivera on first after his leadoff single. They'll spin and check him over there. He slides back in safely. Coming up next for the Hatters, they've got a 3-spot over the weekend at Queen's University of Charlotte, who's languishing near the bottom of the A-Sun standings. Pitch, swing and a miss. And down on strikes for the second time today is Gonzalez. He was way ahead of that off speed from McCulley. Nice pitch mix from McCulley as he went fastball, 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 changeup for the strikeout. And now here's Manny Sufrain, who is 1 for 4 with 2 RBI at a single up the middle in the 6th. 2 sacrifice RBIs for Sufrain as he fouls one back to the screen, 0-1. And then 7 days from today, Florida State University will be in this building to face the Hatters. The 0-1, Rivera is checked at first again, slides back in safely. Stetson is trying to do the Melching Field double over the big heavy hitters in the state of Florida. They beat UF earlier in the season on this field. Here's the 0-1, big swing and a miss. Down to second goes Rivera. Here's the throw. Rivera is safe with a stolen base. And Sufrain now down 0-2 after that cut and miss. The shortstop, Miola, is flabbergasted at why Rivera was safe. And, of course, it did look to me like the throw was there ahead of Rivera, and they're going to go for a coach's challenge. So this is a big one here. So it's either going to be 1 out with a runner on second or 2 outs, 2 strikes to Manny Sufrain, and a chance for one more pitch from McCulley would get Stetson out of the inning. And another great inning for a man who came into the game averaging a 13.50 ERA, only 3 appearances and 2 innings pitched on the season, Mike McCulley. And he's come in, he's thrown strikes, he's got the Wildcats to swing and knock some balls softly into play. Last year he redshirted. Before that was at Siena up in New York, his home state, originally from Cazenovia, New York. Had both a perfect game and a no-hitter back in high school at Christian Brothers Academy, McCulley. His other appearances this season were against Bradley, where he won a third of an inning, 17 pitches, gave up a run on 1 hit, gave up 2 runs on 3 hits in a win against UCF here, 5-3 in April. And then this weekend, through 2/3 of an inning, gave up nothing against Austin Peay in a game that the Governors won 12-7. That was on Saturday. So McCulley, even though he only threw 2/3 of an inning, still pitching on 2 days rest and has done a very good job over these last 2 innings in a tie ball game, really shutting the Wildcats down. Has only allowed 1 hit, has struck out 2, and has gotten 2 lazy pop-ups. As we await the result of a challenge call by Stetson. And the result of the challenge is Sergio Rivera is safe at second.
After the coach's challenge, it was deemed unsuccessful. All stands.
So challenge unsuccessful by head coach Steve Trimper and Stetson. 1 down. Rivera on second after the stolen base. Sufrain down on the count 0-2. Here's the pitch from McCulley. Sufrain taps it foul into the Stetson dugout. A nice catch down there by one of the, looks like a student assistant or somebody not in uniform today. Just stuck out his hand over the railing and snagged that ball. So we'll do the 0-2 again. Sufrain trying to bring in Rivera from second. Here's the pitch. A lot of dancing going on at second between Rivera and Miola, the shortstop. It forces McCulley to disengage. Now he'll get back on the hill. And the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout from McCulley. Mike McCulley has struck out the two most dangerous Wildcat hitters back-to-back with a runner in scoring position.
Now batting the catcher.
And now with two away, here's Jorge Rodriguez. Flew out to right to end the first, doubled down the left field line, ended up scoring in the third, did Rodriguez. Was hit by a pitch, stranded on second in the fourth, and walked in the sixth. And righty to righty, McCulley deals, breaking ball low. And it's 1-0. And I think the Wildcats can take a lot of learning from what McCulley has done. He's mostly thrown strikes, been in the zone, and forced weak contact. There's a fastball strike right down the middle. And when he's needed it, he's gone to that changeup up and away from both righties and lefties for 2 straight strikeouts. And 3 strikeouts in 6 batters faced over 2 innings. Here's the 1-1. Fouled away, 1-2. And McCulley 1 strike away from another relatively clean inning towards the back end of this game. The Wildcats at one point led 7-6 and 6-4, but the Cats haven't scored since the 6th. And in that 6th inning, they left the bases loaded after only getting 1 run. I said at the time that could be the turning point of the game, and that is almost proven to be true. Jorge Rodriguez down 1-2. 2 outs. Top 8 in a tie game at 7. Go-ahead run on second in the form of Sergio Rivera, and he's fast enough to get home on a single. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Another swing and a miss. He dials up the 90-mile-an-hour fastball, does McCulley. What an amazing performance. 2 innings, 4 strikeouts, 1 hit only, and man, oh man, McCulley shuts down the Wildcats, and we go to the bottom of the 8th, still tied at 7 here on CatEye Network Radio. Bottom 8 we go here at Melching Field in DeLand. The score remains locked at 7. Neither team has scored since the 6th, but that is not for lack of trying. In the last 2 innings, Stetson has left the bases loaded and 2 on base. And Patrick Gork deals a first pitch breaking ball outside to Brandon Hilton, who had the loudest moment of this game, the 3-run home run all the way back in the first to right field. Hilton steps out of the box now to talk to home plate umpire Casey Sanchez. We have had 2 reviews in this ball game. One has gone Stetson's way, one has gone the Wildcats' way. Here's the 1-0, and it gets by the catcher into the backstop. Hilton had to leap out of the way to prevent it from hitting his ankles. And after striking out Lorenzo Miola to strand 2 in the bottom of the 7th, Gork. That one is hammered foul by Hilton. After getting that big strikeout to end the inning, Gork has looked a little bit out of sorts here to begin the 8th. Behind 2-1 on Hilton. And neither of those two balls were really competitive. And the one pitch he did put in the zone was absolutely hammered, just foul the wrong side of first base. Righty to lefty, Gork deals. That is another curveball. Hilton out ahead of it, fouls it off to the right-hand side. The count 2-2. In front of a small but raucous Stetson crowd here in DeLand on a Tuesday evening as the season winds to its conclusion. 2-2. Breaking ball didn't catch the outside corner, and it's 3-2. Gork disappointed that he did not get a punch out on Brandon Hilton. And now he's going to have to come in the zone with it on a full count. Gork from the stretch, and he lost it. Bounced it to the plate, and a leadoff walk, and the go-ahead run once again on for Stetson. 7th walk issued by, correction, 6th walk issued by BCU pitching. Both teams have walked 6 times. Here is a pinch hitter, Gio Cueto. Took over 2 innings ago at catcher for Daniel Labrador. He hits in the 7 spot with Hilton on first, nobody out. First pitch, a ball upstairs. Missed with the fastball, did Gork. Cueto hitting .312 on the year. 32 runs on 49 hits, 11 doubles, a triple, 2 homers, 37 RBI, and he swings and misses at a off-speed pitch in the dirt. 1-1 the count. Cueto, a junior from Miami, went to high school at Bellin Prep. Spinning a throw back to first. Hilton is in there safely. And for the amount of times the Wildcats have checked over to first tonight, no, I have not kept count. They have made the one error back in the first. 1-1. Outside and low, 2-1. I think Gork just over-rotating a little bit on his pitches. He does not look settled on the mound, does Patrick Gork right now. The 2-1. Low, throw back to first. And safe barely is Hilton. But the count is 3-1, and Gork in danger of walking the first 2 in the inning here in the bottom of the 8th. Stetson has threatened in pretty much every inning. They've had a runner on base in every inning of the game. 3-1. Inside, ball 4. And now it's Johan Desero, and from a 7-7 ball game, Stetson looks like they may be set to break it open here with 2 on and nobody out. Johan Desero is the batter, and we're gonna have a visit to the mound. This is just pitching coach Joel Sanchez, not Coach Hernandez, so not a pitching change. This is still Gork's game. Desero struck out his first 2 times up in the 2nd and the 3rd, grounded out to first in the 5th, but that got an RBI, and then flied out to left. That was the play with the bases loaded where Villafane, the shortstop, backtracked to try and get it, fell down, and then Garrett Chun backed him up from left to come in and make the catch. There's a great picture of that on our social medias if you go find it, at BCU Diamondcats on Twitter and Instagram, of that catch. So Gork remains on the hill. Desero, the batter. Hilton on second. Gio Cueto on first after 2 leadoff walks by Patrick Groark. The former DeLand son of the Florida Collegiate Summer League deals. Squaring to bunt is Desero. The pitch is in the dirt, ball 1. And for Groark right now, I think it's just important to throw strikes. Don't try and beat around the bush, bite at the corners. Just try and throw strikes and let your defense handle it. Here's the pitch. Swinging a foul ball back to the screen, 1-1. Appeared in 35 games for the Florida State College of Jacksonville Blue Wave over 2 seasons, did Groark.
Everybody clap your
Holds
hands.
the season record for saves at FSCJ with 11. No outs, first and second, the 1-1. Desero into center field. Going back, Figueroa, he makes the catch while backtracking. Going to second, from second to third, is Hilton, and the go-ahead run is 90 feet away. So anything on the outfield would do for Stetson to potentially give them a lead going into the 9th, and the batter will be Evan Griffiths, who pitch hit for Mike Handel after Handel went 0 for 1 with a walk. Griffiths grounded one to the first base side that went off the first base bag, allowed Daniel Labrador to score, and tied the game at 7 back in the 5th. Okay, so that was to tie the game at 6 back in the 5th. Whoa, big loping breaking ball that didn't have much break on it from Groark. Ended up by the head of Griffiths, the right-hand hitter. The other Griffiths plate appearance was a ground out back to the pitcher. 1-0 from Groark. Breaking ball again. That time it does its intended purpose and catches the inside corner for strike 1. Evan Griffiths, the sophomore from Longwood and nearby Lake Brantley High School. Groark's 1-1, another breaking ball. He's thrown that 12-6 curve 3 times. That time he missed it high, 2-1. As this game creeps towards the 3.5-hour mark. We appreciate those of you that have stuck with us here on CatEye Network Radio. 2-1. That time a fastball right at the knees for strike 2. So curveball, 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 fastball, plus a foul tip, and the count is 2-2 on Griffiths. 1 away, runners on the corners, the winning run, the go-ahead run, this is only the 8th, 90 feet away for the Stetson Hatters. Pitch, runner goes to second. There will be no throw, stolen base for Gio Cueto. Now second and third with 1 out, which takes away the double play. The count is full to Griffiths. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Swinging a foul tip right at home plate that caught Rodriguez, the catcher, where the sun don't shine. He takes his mask off and is walking around behind the plate trying to shake it off. So we'll have a bit of a break here, but more time for Patrick Groark to stew in his own mind. A walk loads the bases. A hit or anything to the outfield gives Stetson the lead with the speedy Brandon Hilton on third base. The infield is in. All 4 infielders for the Wildcats with their feet touching the infield grass. Converse to that, the outfield is pretty deep. Once again, the full count delivery. Griffiths stands back in. Groark from the stretch. He winds and fires. Bounced it to the plate, ball 4, and the bases are loaded again. The Hatters have left the bases loaded in the 2nd and the 6th, and the Wildcats are going to have to make them do it a 3rd time to keep this game level, and it's going to be a different pitcher. Patrick Groark's night is done. At times, fantastic. At times, he couldn't find the strike zone at all. 3 walks in this inning to load the bases. Groark is responsible for all 3 base runners, and if one of them crosses the plate, Groark would take the loss. We will have a new Bethune-Cookman pitcher. We'll tell you who that is after this word from Nike. Nike is the official outfitter of the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Gear up on the newest BCU Nike gear at nike.com/Bethune-Cookman Wildcats, and make sure you are representing Bethune-Cookman University Athletics to the fullest. Buy the latest BCU gear online at the Bethune-Cookman online store. Go to bcuathletics.com and click on shop to find the newest BCU clothing and apparel. That's bcuathletics.com and click on shop. I believe it is Pablo Torres who is making his way to the mound. Groark departs after serving after serving just 2/3 of an inning across an inning break. Got 2 outs, 1 strikeout, crucially, at the end of the last inning to keep the game tied, but has walked Hilton, Cueto, and Griffiths to load the bases around a pop out from Desero. Nope, it is not Torres, it is Jeffrey Gonzalez. Jeffrey Gonzalez making his 14th appearance tonight. He's 3-1 with a 6.19 ERA. In 16 innings pitched, he's given up 13 runs on 20 hits. 11 of those 13 earned. He's struck out 20 and walked 12. He's allowed 3 doubles, a triple, 3 homers. Opponents are batting a .308 against him, with 7 wild pitches and 6 hit by pitches. And those numbers do not paint a very hopeful picture, but we up here in the CatEye Network booth remain hopeful that the Wildcats can weasel their way out of trouble again. They've done it time and time again tonight. The Hatters have had at least 1 on base in every single inning. They have had a runner in scoring position in all but 2 innings. They've left the bases loaded twice. And still the Wildcats have this game tied at 7. Jeffrey Gonzalez, the junior from Port St. Lucie, Florida, transfer from Indian River State College. And it's the best hitter the Stetson Hatters have that is at the plate right now. The leadoff man, Kyle Jones. 3 for 5 with 3 singles. First pitch is upstairs, ball 1. Infielders all the way into the infield grass. Anything on the ground, they're coming home with it to prevent the run. Jones singled in the first and scored. Flied out in the second and fourth, and has singled his last 2 times up, but Jeffrey Gonzalez has missed the zone with his first 2 pitches high. Jones was caught out on a rundown in the 7th after singling to start the inning and going to second on an error by Rivera in right. Here's the 2-0 from Jeffrey Gonzalez. Missed it badly upstairs, 3-0. 1 more ball, and Stetson leads. Bases loaded, 3-0 the count to Jones. Gonzalez pitches inside, ball 4, and Stetson leads. 4 straight walks for the Wildcats. Jones goes to first. Hilton walks in from third. He is the go-ahead run. It's 8-7 Stetson. Cueto goes to third. Griffiths to second. And Jones, of course, to first. Here's Isaiah Barquette. There is still just 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th as we hit 10 p.m. Eastern time and a 5th straight ball to start the appearance for Jeffrey Gonzalez. Upstairs, all of them. this time to Barquette. 2 singles, 2 flyouts, and a fielder's choice for Barquette today.
Everybody clap your hands.
And a timeout called by Barquette. He'll stand back in now. Jeffrey pitches. Breaking ball finally finds the zone with his 6th pitch.
Drive something, 1-3, let's go!
Barquette trying to add to his 23 runs batted in the season. 1-1 upstairs, and right now Stetson doesn't even have to take their bat off the shoulders to do damage in this inning. 4 straight walks has given the Hatters a 8-7 lead. Gonzalez deals way outside and low. 3 balls and 1 strike again. Gonzalez, the former Appalachian State liner of the Appalachian Summer Collegiate League. The 3-1 pitch, fastball down the middle for strike 2. He also played for the Williamsport Crosscutters of the MLB Draft League last season. Of course, Williamsport, the home of the Little League World Series that's coming up this summer, as it does every year. Here's a 3-2. Swing and a miss. Jeffrey Gonzalez gets Barquette to strike out. And now there's 2 away. The bases are still loaded for Landon Moran. Landon hit by a pitch in his first 2 appearances, scored on the home run by Hilton in the first, then has flied out 3 times, twice to right and once to center. Righty to lefty, Gonzalez versus Moran. Pitch in the air, left field not deep. Moving over Chun, he will make the catch. So Jeffrey Gonzalez and the Wildcats walk 4 straight in the middle of the inning. 1 run, no hits, bases left loaded. And we go to the 9th. Wildcats have 3 outs to try and make up this 1-run deficit here on the CatEye Network Radio. Well, after Mike McCulley goes 2 innings, gives up 1 hit, no runs, and strikes out 4, the reins are passed to Cole Stallings, the closer for Stetson, to try and get the last 3 outs as we hit the top of the 9th. Wildcats down 8-7, the same score they beat Stetson by earlier in the season over at Jackie Robinson Ballpark. Cole Stallings, 3-0 with 8 saves, a 3.19 ERA. Colton Olison who is 0 for 4, is the first man to face him. Righty to righty. Stallings deals. Is inside. Fastball at 88 miles an hour. Stallings from Lithia, Florida, Newsom High School, a former Newsom Wolf. A career hatter. 1-0 is in there for strike one. Olesen 0 for 4, grounded out to the pitcher in the second, flew out to center in the third, struck out in the fourth, and popped out in the fifth. He puts that one in the air towards left field. Going back, it's Despard, who just came into the game, and he makes the catch over his head, and there's one away. Coming into play left field is Jeb Despard, the sophomore. Usually plays catcher, but he's getting his reps in left. And now here's Jorge Gonzalez Fabo.
Jorge Gonzalez Fabo.
Fabo singled and scored in the second, had a 2 RBI error to right field in the third. First pitch, a ball low. And then has struck out twice, once in the fifth and once in the sixth. In the sixth, he struck out with the bases loaded and the inning. 1-0, in there 1-1. Stallings, rest of his numbers, 31 innings pitched. He's given up 60 runs on 24 hits. That one inside 2-1. All 12 of the runs he's given up earned, striking out 33 and walking just 11. He's allowed 5 doubles, 1 triple, 2 homers, opponent batting average of .214. That one way outside into the backstop. Nobody on base, so Wildcats can't get any advantage of it other than it just being ball 3. The count 3-1 now to Jorge Gonzalez Fabo. Was crucial in the Wildcats coming back from a 4-2 deficit early and eventually taking a 6-4 lead. But again, 2 strikeouts in his last plate appearances. Here's the 3-1 from Stallings. It was low and inside, but Fabo offered at it and chopped it foul into the third base dugout. Count runs full. I would not be surprised at either an up and in fastball or a low and away breaking ball here from Stallings to try and get Fabo. Full count delivery. Low outside, ball 4. And Fabo walks. The tying run is aboard. That was only the 12th walk of the season given up by Cole Stallings. He has as many walks coming into this appearance as he has runs given up, which is crazy. And now it's going to be Jamie Villafane. No, it's going to be a pinch hitter.
Number 9, position number 5.
Michael Rodriguez will pitch hit in the 9 spot. And we're going to get a pinch runner as well. Xavier Cintrone is going to run it first for Fabo. So Rodriguez at the plate, the freshman. In just 15 appearances for Rodriguez, 25 at-bats, 1 run on 7 hits, 2 RBI, and a .280 average for the freshman, including a 2-hit and an RBI game against Florida State last month. Tying run is Xavier Cintrone, who leads off first. Rodriguez swings and misses at a fastball up and in. This is a big spot for Michael Rodriguez, the freshman. A lot of trust placed in him by Coach Hernandez, or maybe just try to put him in a tough position to see what he's got. I would not be surprised also if Xavier Cintrone tries to steal here to put a run in scoring position to potentially score on a single. Pitch, foul tipped into the glove, and Rodriguez behind 0-2. In a game that is creeping towards the 4-hour mark here at Melching Field in DeLand, the Wildcats down to the last 2 outs, trailing 8-7. Cintrone pitch running on first for Fabo, who just walked. Olesen led off the inning with a fly out to left. Pitch. Swing and a miss. 3 straight fastballs gone by the bat of Michael Rodriguez. And the Wildcats are down to their last out. The batter is Daniel Figueroa, who, just like Colton Olison, has struck out his last 2 times up. Figueroa walked his first time up to lead off the game in the first, eventually came around to score on a sac fly by Manny Soufrain, then bunted for a single in the second. His last 3 trips to the plate, fly out to center, strikeout, strikeout. Tying run on first, Xavier Cintrone. Pitch, fastball, strike at the letters inside corner. Stetson trying to get win number 31 on the season. 0-1 pitch. Check swing, ball high about the neckline, 1-1. And Cole Stallings is trying to pick up
Everybody clap your hands.
his 9th save of the year. Pitch, low and outside, 2-1 the count. Count is 2-1 on Figueroa. Stallings from the stretch. And it's grounded foul outside of third. And the count is 2-2. The Wildcats down to their last strike in what has been a thoroughly entertaining evening at baseball here in Volusia County. Wildcats clinging to a faint hope of sweeping the season series against Stetson. Hatters trying to make it a split. And even the odds in the Battle of Volusia County for 2024. 2-2, 2 outs. The pitch is a swing and a miss. The slider went by the bat of Figueroa, and the Hatters win. In a topsy-turvy, back-and-forth game that went almost 4 hours, the Stetson Hatters win by the exact same score that the Wildcats beat the Hatters back in Daytona Beach last month. 8 runs for Stetson, 7 for Bethune-Cookman. Stetson, 8 runs, 11 hits, 1 error. And Bethune-Cookman, 7 runs on 10 hits. Crucially, made 3 errors. The Wildcats left 13 on base. Not a banner day for the Wildcats in that respect, but they still scored 7 runs, which is one of their better offensive performances of the season, especially in a non-conference game. Stetson left 16 on base, including leaving the bases loaded 3 times, but the Wildcats just couldn't get it done. The bullpen came in and held so many times, but in the 8th inning, the Wildcats, in a tie game, walked 4 straight, and that was it. And the Stetson Hatters win it 8-7. Stetson improves to 31-18. Their record still 15-9 in conference play. Wildcats fall to 27-22. Their record still 17-7 in the SWAC. Up next for the Wildcats, they will take on Jackson State this weekend. A crucial series and a little bit of demons to excise, especially against Jackson State when they beat them 19-5 at home. The Wildcats looking to erase some demons there. Up next for Stetson, they'll go on the road over the weekend to Queens University of Charlotte for a 3-game ASUN series. The next time we will be on the air is 7 days from now. The Wildcats will travel to UCF, looking for a season split there. In a game, the Wildcats lost 14-1 back in Daytona Beach earlier in the season, and then they will close out their home schedule May 16th, 17th, and 18th against Alabama State in a series that could very well decide first, second, and third in the Eastern Conference going into the SWAC tournament. Once again, your final score from Melching Field in DeLand tonight. The Stetson Hatters, 8 runs on 11 hits, 1 error, left 16 on base. Bethune-Cookman, 7 runs on 10 hits, 3 errors, left 13 on base. The win goes to Mike McCulley, his first of the season. Unfortunately, the loss goes to Patrick Gork because even though he did not walk in the eventual winning run, he was responsible for them being there on third base. Gork's record is now 1-2. Thank you for sticking with us through a marathon broadcast here on the CatEye Network on YouTube tonight. My name is Michael Torello. We will see you next week as Bethune-Cookman plays UCF. For now, have a very pleasant rest of your evening, and hail Wildcats.